What's up, Jesse Sobella? How you doing?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you just fine. Talk again really quick. I want to see how the audio balancing is.
Hi. So I'm just on my phone.
Okay. No, it's all good. You sound
Uh,
good. I can hear you just fine. Yeah, what's your contention?
yeah. Well, I just have a little problem. Wait, hang on, I can hear other people talking, so it's kind of screwing me up. Hang on, let me try to turn off the other thing.
Okay, yeah, you might want to mute the stream.
Okay, yeah, got the stream away. Okay.
Cool.
All right. Well,
Wait,
you
really
know,
quickly. Wait, really
it's
quickly. Chat wants to know what are your pronouns.
um, it doesn't matter. Call me
Okay.
whatever you want.
Okay, cool. Any all. All right.
Uh, so I have a slight issue. I think that people shouldn't be saying that shit online to ex-Nazis. I don't think it's constructive. I don't think it's like that. But my problem is with your logic of it seems like you want to um, welcome the ex-Nazi who just says they're an ex-Nazi and maybe almost uh, exile or a leftist that I guess doesn't feel comfortable with them, around. I mean,
What do you
how do
mean?
you? Okay,
What do you mean by
okay.
exile?
Well, you kind of said you were like you don't have to be in the community if you don't want to. So if there was somebody who was an ex-Nazi who maybe has assaulted this person physically, verbally, whatever. There's Nazis that spit on people. There's Nazis that do crazy ass shit, right? So all you'd have to be is a Nazi like that said, "Oh, I'm better now," and then so you're now welcome in Xanderhall's community, and the other person has to leave because Xanderhall says, "We'll welcome you." The leftist can just go, you know. So
Didn't
like
I say
that's
that? Didn't I say that it was different for like communities, like particular communities, and that anybody has the right to discriminate based on who they want to associate with? Also, I
right,
specifically said
right.
that if somebody is engaging in like bad behavior in my community, they'll get shutted or they'll get banned. I'm not going to
I
ban a
know, but
leftist because they're uncomfortable around somebody who's done something bad to them. If I found out that there was like a ex-Nazi in my community that like assaulted or like personally attacked a particular person, that particular person who was the victim of that attack isn't comfortable with it, then we'd figure something out, whether it be banning the person who did that because they did the thing that was bad, or finding a way for them not to come into contact with each other and cause an uncomfortable situation.
fair to say that. But how do you know these people are better, and how do you know that they're not like ex, edgelord Xanderhall, which barely went down the rabbit hole compared to a Gavin McGinnis type of person? Both of those people are welcome in the chat just as much. If they
Wait,
say, "I'm all better now." So
hold
I
on.
don't, your logic, okay, go
Wait,
ahead.
what
Sorry.
do you, how do you tell someone's a Nazi?
Well, usually they have to say it. So if they have actually said that they're a Nazi, like an outright out of the closet flaming Nazi, it's pretty bad. Like most
There
people
are
won't admit they're a Nazi anyways. Like you weren't racist. You never admitted to being a Nazi because you weren't even close. You were just kind of going down there a little bit.
Hold on,
But
wait,
gnarly
hold
Nazi.
on.
Okay.
Don't try to gaslight me on what I
I
believed.
watched your
I know you
I
you
watched your
watched my
video. I
video.
watched your video. I did. I just
I
went and
was
rewatched
literally
it the other day.
I was literally playing
You're
with race
you're a
realism.
misogynist.
I was literally playing with
Yeah.
race realism and was like not quite there, but within a couple like months of biting down on the JQ. I'd say that's pretty fucking close. That's not just barely getting down
Yeah, but
it and
that's
being
down
like
the
an
route. That's
edgy
not to the bottom.
anti-SJW.
That's not to the bottom. That's not to the bottom of the thing.
How
That's
wait,
not on 4chan. You're
how
not on 4chan
far
spamming the N word.
how far do you have to go for you to be
Well,
in to
okay,
for you to be
that's not
like
my point. That's not my point. My point is that we have to treat that person that barely went down just the same as somebody who was like a huge piece of shit, and like unforgivable,
wait,
and
unforgivable? Hold on, wait, what do you mean unforgivable?
well, maybe in my thing would be like, I mean, unforgivable. If even if a Nazi's like spit on somebody, that's unforgivable,
Okay, so do you not
and they
believe
do
in
that
you
all the
don't
time.
so you don't are you a leftist?
Yes,
Do you believe in restorative
more
justice?
left than you.
No, you're not. Do
Yes,
you believe in?
if you pay for, yeah, I'm way more less than you, bro.
No, you're not.
Anyway,
No, you're not. I
no,
guarantee you're not.
I've been, oh, a million
The
percent.
fact that you
Anyway, it
believe
doesn't
that there
matter.
are
It doesn't
people
matter.
who are irredeemable no matter what they do means that you are not more left than I am. One of the core tenets of
Irredeemable. I
leftism
didn't
is
say
the
that. I
idea
didn't say they're irredeemable. I said
you literally
maybe it's
unforgivable. That I believe that kind of translates over to the idea of being irredeemable. I'm sorry if that's not what you meant though.
okay. For somebody that's been assaulted. Okay, that's what I kind of meant to say. Like not like Xander Hall has to do it when he has nothing to do with it. He can forgive that person, fine. But the person that has been assaulted by a Nazi, or I mean, they get a lot of these Nazis do this shit and get away with it, so they're like really bad. So you don't know if you don't know if one of these Nazis has been like the worst person in the world.
I'd say most
For
terminally
years.
online Nazis probably haven't assaulted anybody, but that's
I
also that
mean,
is a
and that's the thing.
possibility.
That's the thing, though, is I think a lot of these people like will ban like they don't want the crazy Nazis. They'll do the little edgelord Xander Halls because yeah, that's fine. You were kind of an idiot. You made a mistake, and that's fine. But when you have these gnarly ass like crazy Nazis, it's hard, and it's really hard to be like, it's really hard to believe these people.
Hold on.
It's like
I'm gonna tell you this right now. I don't care
Especially
about.
when you
I'm
say,
not. I'm
I'm-
not limiting my acceptance of people who have changed to those that were just like edgelords back in the day. There could be a full-on skull mask Adam Waffen motherfucker who like beat the shit out of somebody at a protest, then went to prison, and then realized that Nazism was bad because they had that shit debunked, and then got out. Or maybe even if they did, Nazis don't go to prison.
For not as much of the assault they do, no. They barely do. But they beat the shit out of people. You weren't even around in the 90s. Oh my god. Like, dude, you don't even know.
Wait, do you think that when they go to court, they just
they barely
say
ever get caught. The other cops are just their buddies, and they like let them go most of the time.
sure, there are tons of police that'll let that kind of shit slide.
Right.
There's a lot of great white
I'm not
supremacy in
saying
the
it's
police
all
system.
the
But
time. I'm just saying there are these people in our community that are trying to be in our community.
wait, why was your response to me giving a hypothetical of somebody who assaulted somebody who was a Nazi, went to prison, got better, and then came back and got out of prison and was a good person? Why was your response
you just
that
said all they have
Nazis
to
don't
say
go to
is they're
prison?
good now. You just said all they have to say
No,
is
it's
they're
about
good now.
action. It's about what they do and they say.
No, I'm gonna go back to we should just go back to your other video and say you said it today. If you say you're all better now, and like you think that all these people have to go online and say I'm better now.
I'm being gaslit live on stream right now. When have I ever said that all it takes for me to accept you is to say I'm better now? What matters is how you behave, what you say and believe. You can never know what someone genuinely believes. You have to inductively reason based on their actions and what they advocate for.
But how have you seen these people's actions? All these people say is they're better now. You like those tweets the other day? Like somebody's like, I was a Nazi, but now I'm better. They didn't even say they were a leftist. It was kind of some like sarcastic bullshit. So it's like,
listen, actually, I've got good news for you. If you want to learn more about that person, you can go watch Vosh's interview with them where they talk about their story of being groomed by their ex-boyfriend and their family and how they were in an abusive relationship and it took the help of their friend to be able to move out of that town and get away from their abusive, grooming family and ex-boyfriend who like pushed them into being Nazis. You can go learn about their story.
Okay, but how do we know that they're better? Besides
on their actions?
Going on to Vosh.
Wait, do you think
did they show everybody their actions before that tweet? Did they show everybody their actions before that tweet? Did they make a Xander Hall arc video and show everybody that they were like really actually good? I think if everybody made that video like you did, I think we'd be like great. But everybody just gets to say,
no.
"Oh, I'm better now."
No, the comments on that post, by the way, that person had thousands of people harassing them on Twitter after that like screenshot went viral.
It was a dumb shit tweet, dude.
No, it wasn't.
It was kind of like it was a bad choice of words. It really was.
It was maybe poorly worded, but at the same time, that person could not have expected
You're being disingenuous.
Wait, hold on. I'm really curious.
It's terribly poorly worded.
I'm really curious. I'm really curious.
I was Nazi before. Now I'm good.
I'm really curious. Do you believe in empathy? Do you believe in empathy? You do.
Not for crazy Nazis very much, though. I mean, not like I don't think that they can be better or anything. You just have to be
What do you
really,
what do you think the
really
goal of being?
careful.
What is your goal as a leftist?
Get more people to go to left.
Really?
There's a lot, like barely any Nazis compared to liberals, conservatives, and stuff. So I try to stick to people that aren't just nuts. Yeah, I mean, I used to argue with Nazis back in the day. I used to fight Nazis, man. Like, so, like, don't tell me I don't know shit. Don't tell me like you're more left than me. I'm way more left than you, bro. So,
Wait, what is your political? Wait, hold on. I'm really curious. Do you believe in restorative
I don't
justice
even
in the
have
prison
one.
system? Do you wait? What? You don't
Yes,
have?
of course.
But you don't have a political ideology?
I on it. Well, honestly, when I look at them all, I feel like I'm even more left than most of that shit. Like, honestly. So,
Wait, are you trolling?
I mean, no, I'm not. I'm being genuine.
Wait, are you
Like,
like a, are you like a
I hate when people are
socialist,
like,
a
I'm more left than you. I'm
communist?
more punk than you. It doesn't matter. What?
Wait, what? You
Okay,
were literally the
I
one
mean,
that kept saying you're more left than me. Why are you saying you hate that when I have, like, you were the one that brought up being more left than me. I didn't once try to impugn how far
and
left
then I
you
was
are.
like, you did it first, and then I was doing it.
I was
but
literally
now it's
asking
like,
you
yeah,
if you agreed with restorative justice or the idea of like empathy.
then you kept saying I'm not even left or whatever. And I was like,
No, you
bro.
said I'm
So
more left
who
than
cares?
you.
Honestly, I shouldn't even have brought it back up. It doesn't matter because you can't do that shit. It's like being more punk than somebody.
Okay.
You know,
We
you
got the
can't be more punk
CEO
than
of we got the CEO of leftism here. It's all good. Okay, so you said you agree with restorative justice and the
I've
criminal
been
justice
doing it
system?
for a really long time, and I've had a lot more time to think about it than you have. So just take it
Okay.
easy. You know, like you're not that.
How old are you?
You're fresh. You're fresh.
How old are
40.
you? Holy
40.
shit. No wonder you're so bad at arguing. Okay, nah, no ageism.
How am I bad at
I know
arguing?
her.
This is the thing is I don't do this shit. You know, I've never gone online. Don't film myself. Don't even do any of this shit. So
Okay.
whatever.
So you said you agree with restorative justice and the criminal justice system?
Yes, but you have to pay a price. These Nazis haven't paid any price.
Paid a
Like,
price?
It's not.
That's not restorative justice, homie. That's retributive justice. You want punishment.
Well,
You want retribution. You don't believe
you
that if
pay for
somebody
your
makes an
crimes and
effort,
then-
you think you want them to pay
hey,
for their
some
crimes.
people have to go to jail. Some people have to go to jail, and then after that, they're.
However, in
Then you can
an
get better through that.
ideal leftist progressive system, sending people to jail
Nobody
wouldn't
go
be
to
for
jail?
them to. No, it wouldn't be for people to pay the price. It would be for them to be rehabilitated in a proper environment where they can re-enter the world as a productive member of society.
Of course, I'm way for different prison type system and stuff like that. Yeah,
You don't agree.
Yes,
you
yes.
clearly do not agree with the philosophy or like the morality behind the idea of restorative justice. You literally said they need to pay the price.
I do. Well, okay. It was maybe bad words then. Okay. And I don't think the prison system's good. People need to go somewhere and maybe get rehabilitated, you know, or something like that. That's what I do agree.
How do you
So,
feel
yeah.
about the Scandinavian prison system where even murderers and rapists are they're given like dorm rooms basically. They're allowed to have open
Problem with that.
they're allowed to have open roam of the facility. They're able to like go to the kitchen, hang out, watch TV. They're allowed to play video games. They take classes in order to get a degree in college. And these countries have extremely low crime. Do you agree with that?
In my world, only rapists and murderers would be in prison, really. So everybody else would be totally like rehabilitated and maybe not even have to go to prison or anything like that. Yeah. So yeah.
I don't know if only rapists and murderers should be the ones that go to prison. There's probably a few extra crimes in there that should probably involve some kind of detainment,
maybe heavy assault, maybe heavy assault,
yeah,
you know, or something.
Maybe, yeah, stuff like that. I understand violent crime,
Who
crime
else?
that has like a
What else?
like a determinate, any crime that
What
has
else?
a detrimental
you say
effect
a crime
on society.
that should be in prison. You tell me a crime that should be in prison, other than those ones.
I don't know.
And you're calling yourself a leftist.
Arson, burning down someone's house.
Okay, did they murder? Did they murder people? Because usually that just means that
burning down someone's
pays
house.
for it.
Not always. No.
If the people are in it, yes. If the people are in it, yes. If
No, not always.
No, you need
some
help.
some people don't have the ability, don't have the insurance for that. There are a lot of very poor people that if their house burned
but
down, they would lose possessions they could never get back. Yeah, and arson can also hurt people.
It sucks.
Just because somebody, hey, I actually have a question for you.
That's what I'm saying.
If someone
if they do get
if someone burns down a house and they don't know if someone is inside of there, and it burns down, but no one is actually there, and no one gets hurt, do you think that they shouldn't go to prison, even though they didn't know if someone is inside, or if there wasn't?
I don't think they should, because I don't think they should. They need help, but I don't think they should.
Well, I
They
mean,
just got lucky.
prison,
They just
in
got
my
very,
ideal
very lucky.
system as a leftist, prison would be the help.
That happens
Prison
a lot.
wouldn't just be
That
a bunch of
happens a
gray
lot.
cells where they're locked up and you know, like it is here in American prisons. It would be a lot more like in
Say that
Norway
about
or
forest
in
fires
Finland.
and shit.
Wait, what?
Yeah. I mean, you can say that about like anything. Like you could say like, I don't know, people that don't mean to get people killed they have a different thing for it. It's called manslaughter, not murder. So
Okay, yeah,
I know what
There
you're
are different
saying.
degrees. Okay, I have a question. I'm really curious. I want to ask you questions. And
Okay.
Okay. Hold on.
Hey man, I'm on your side here, and I'm actually watch your shit all the time, and actually a really big fan. Okay, I agree with 99.9%. It's just that you are being illogical about going off on these people who, yes, shouldn't be saying that stuff towards Nazis because we don't need that, but you acting like them and gatekeeping and telling them that they're not welcome and they should go kill themselves is not good, bro.
Wait, when have I told these people to kill themselves?
I just watched your video. You're like, don't kill yourself. Oh, in game or something. And like,
Yeah, it's a joke.
because you say like, yeah, okay. But no, it's not a joke because you're telling them to go kill themselves. Okay. And
actually, I know exactly what I said. Actually, I know exactly what I said. The joke was that it was leading on. I was like, if you believe this kind of shit, then you should live a happy life. That's usually the joke.
Stick your head in a blender. I know. Okay, there was a stick your head in the. There was actually 3 of them on there where you. I mean, that was the one where you said that one was the least. The other ones were basically like.
Do you think that I think those that are like always bad people for being Nazis? Do you think that I think that people who believe that should kill themselves? And do you think any reasonable person would hear what I said and think that's what I believe? Any reasonable person.
You're those people that just made the mistake of telling a Nazi to never come back, which they kind of made the same mistake.
Oh, no. I'm not talking about people that just feel a little uncomfortable about someone who used to be a Nazi or whatever and just don't feel like sharing a social space with them. I'm talking about those that were saying, I'm talking about those that were harassing that person and those that say, if you have ever had these bad beliefs, then you are permanently scarred. Once a Nazi, always a Nazi. There's no going back. We never want to work with you.
Yeah,
you will never be part of the left.
I said that's not good, but what I'm trying to tell you is you need to understand that accepting people back into the left, these people who just say, I'm not a Nazi anymore, hee, and we're supposed to just be like, oh, hey, come on back to like, come on and hang, in our spaces and be a leftist and all this stuff. Like, that's what you say. I mean, maybe you're not implying that, but that's what's coming off.
You know you can't prove a negative, right? If someone says, I'm not a Nazi, you can't say, well, show me where there's proof that they're not a Nazi. You have to show me proof that they are a Nazi. You can't prove a negative.
Right, but
that's not how any system of logic works.
You can't. It's hard. They do have to do a lot of things, like make a Xander Hall arc video. That would be a great way to do it. But most of these people don't. They're just like,
this was just one person with like 50 followers on Twitter who got harassed by like thousands of people actually after that post went viral.
You're a Nazi. If you can admit you were a Nazi, if you can say I was a Nazi, not just edgelord pig puncher, not like the barely in there, real live Nazis that are crazy, treat them the same. We're supposed to just be like, okay, like everybody's okay. It seems very just naive. I'm
curious, do you have a single example of me allowing someone who you believe is actually still secretly a Nazi in my community? Do you have a single example?
I don't, but the way you said
it. No, you don't, because there's not a single one.
I don't,
because
but that's the thing. Somebody could come on there and say I was the next Nazi. Somebody could come on there and say I was the next Nazi, right? Sure. And they'll stay, okay? And if one of the leftists has a problem with them on there, then they have to leave.
What do you mean they have to leave?
You said that. You're like, if you have a problem with this Nazi on here, or not here, but you can just leave the space, the leftist space. You can go.
When did I say that?
You said that on your last thing.
That they should leave the space? Did I say the social group?
Yeah,
or the
you
left?
Can just if you feel intimidated by this person or whatever, you can just leave. And you said that. That was almost
Yeah.
like word for word what
Okay,
you
yeah,
said.
no. If you're in a,
Okay.
like if you're in a
While,
social
while
space
you
or like a
while you
Discord
while
server, and there's someone there who used to be a Nazi, and you're made uncomfortable by that, that person isn't doing anything wrong at that moment. They're not, unless they're saying some like transphobic shit, and they're clearly not a progressive at all, and they're lying about their beliefs. Then yeah, I mean, if you just feel
you
uncomfortable by
know.
their presence, they're just vibing. They're doing their own thing. It's up to you whether or not you want to leave. It is not like the responsibility for that person to say,
You're
"Sorry, you're
willing.
made uncomfortable by me. I'm going to leave this space because you, for some reason, just aren't comfortable with me because I used to believe a thing." Like, I'm sorry. That seems
They
very unreasonable
personally
to me.
know. What if they personally know the Nazi and they know what they have done? You know, like what if they're just like, man, that person has done some fucked up shit.
They
And
personally know them.
why
That
would
sounds
you
like a
why would that
personal
that's
issue.
some and I don't think you should be splashing people like that too. Go on there and be like, this Nazi is like, boot stomped people and done all this shit. I mean, you try not to do that because you do want it, but it's like, man, some of these leftists really have been beat the shit, and like it's been bad, man. It's
Yeah,
like they're
I
not just
know.
little pig
Trust
puncher
me.
edgelords that have been funny online and like
Why
da
do you
da
keep
da.
saying
A lot of
pig
these
puncher edgelords? What are you
Well,
talking
that's what
about?
you were when you were just a little, like kid. I mean, I guess it wasn't that long ago, but just how you were when you were pig puncher. It's like, you weren't that bad, man. You weren't even racist, really.
I was
You weren't. You
definitely
you said
racist.
you thought some things, but you really like weren't.
Wait, do you think like
Spamming the
do
N
you
word.
think Wait, hold on. Did you actually like watch my entire video?
Yeah, I did. I went and
You
rewatched the
the
old one
part
too.
where the part where I was like in Discord servers just for the meme, posting like a video of like a of like these extremely racist memes, and like laughing about a video of like a, because I thought it was like edgy
Yeah,
humor
I
of
didn't.
like
I
a
didn't know
young
that
black
you were
kid getting run
posting this
over by
stuff.
a
I thought you
train.
were just laughing at it. I didn't know that it didn't come off that you were actually posting that stuff. It seemed like you were kind of in the same server where that stuff happened.
Yeah, and I
And
was
I'm
like,
not saying
haha,
you did it,
yeah,
but that
edgy
doesn't make you a
memes.
Nazi.
That makes you
That
racist.
doesn't.
That makes you racist. That is a racist
Okay, but
action.
yeah, but a lot of people
It's
do
so weird
racist
because like
shit.
you're simultaneously
They
like
don't
you're
understand.
trying to like, it's so weird. I don't actually understand where your
What?
motivation or your logic is coming from, because you're actually trying to sugarcoat the terrible shit that I believed, while simultaneously trying to like gaslight me into believing there's some hypothetical fake reformed Nazi out there that knew some leftist that could be made uncomfortable by their presence in some Discord server. Like, you're simultaneously sugarcoating the terrible shit that I
How
believed
many
and
times?
then
How many
making up
times have you?
some
How many times?
hypothetical.
Okay, fine. How many times have you banned somebody out of your, a stupid ass? You've just banned them out, let them come back in, and then had to re-ban them for like permanent, and stuff.
Wait,
How many
like,
times does that
wait.
happen with these
How many
Nazis?
have I
All.
with Nazis? Oh, I permaban. When I
Well, how do you
I've
know that they're Nazis though? I mean,
because they
like
say,
you
typically
don't.
because they're saying things like the N word or harassing trans people in the chat. Usually that's what they do.
Okay.
In my Discord, in
Do
my chat, you can't know what someone
you
believes.
will
You look at their
you will ban these
behavior.
Nazis and never let them come back in, even though they're better?
Oh no, well, I mean, if they come back and they've got like, and they tell me like, hey, I believed in really bad shit, I've unbanned people for that before, and they've been fine. I haven't had any issues with those people. But I don't like have any tolerance when someone like comes in and they start
Oversimplifying all
spamming
this.
the N word. They just get permabanned.
Okay,
Wait, how
and
else would
that's
you
fine.
figure it out? How else would you figure it out?
How many people did a light one got pushed back into the thing and then spam the N word? How many people have did something kind of screwed up, got done, and then came back and then like, oh, permaban? That's happened. It had to happen because they're
Not by
very
me. As a matter of
Nazis and
fact,
shit are
basically
very deceptive.
all my mods permaban. We don't do any like temp bans in
Okay,
my chat
all
or on my
right. Well,
server. It's all
maybe
permas.
I didn't know. I didn't know that like getting banned once was a permaban.
Oh,
I had no idea. So
and getting unbanned requires like a direct message to me or a moderator, and it's up to that moderator or me's discretion, or admin, their discretion whether or not to unban them. And typically, you need a damn good excuse to get unbanned. Like, you have to like for me at least, when I unban people who've done bad shit in the past, like, hey, like 5 months ago, I said the N word in your chat, and I was like a shitty edgelord. But I ended up watching more of your videos, and I didn't realize how shitty my beliefs are. But yeah, and if they like explain to me that they're cool now, and I bring them in, and they do some shit, and they come in, usually I've never had a case where that's happened, and it's been a problem, and they've been bad. Usually, every case that I can think of. They've been reformed and they've been fine. There's been no issues, no complaints whatsoever. They haven't done anything bad. But if that happened, if they came in and they lied and they just started doing bad shit again, they would get banned. Even if it was in private, if I found out like behind the scenes in some other server, they're like saying the N-word or something, I'll ban them if I find out about that.
Okay. I mean, then, you know, maybe I just had a bad...
Sorry, can you say that again? You cut out.
Maybe I just had a bad example, I guess, because I thought that maybe you let more people back in and then had to reban them, and I just didn't understand. So I just didn't understand how much permanent ban.
There is a core to our disagreement that we need to tackle right now. How do you know if someone's a Nazi?
Don't.
You don't. So you believe that to know someone's a Nazi...
Only if they've done things. Yeah, but you can't... There's plenty of Nazis that you don't know are Nazis.
Wait, how would you...
They'll never admit it.
If someone who... Let's take someone who won't admit they're a Nazi. How can you have a pretty damn good idea they're a Nazi?
They start either writing things or saying Nazi shit. But a lot of them don't.
A lot of them do.
A lot of people.
Do you know what dog whistling is?
No, 100%. And there's a lot of Nazis that don't even dog whistle. They don't even really say anything, you know? So
okay, so if they're Nazis, but they literally do nothing that Nazis do. They don't do any like direct action, Nazi direct action or whatever. They don't spam slurs or do anything that you would associate with racists or Nazis or whatever, then like at that point, what's the harm? Spam slurs and stuff like that? Yeah. When I was a reactionary, yeah.
You did?
Oh yeah. Oh. Yeah, when I was
maybe you were okay, that was not in your video and stuff. So to me and like that video you made, it seemed like you didn't go down the rabbit hole too far, you know, because you didn't mention like 4chan, like anything like that, and how really deep you can go, you know.
Do you think 4chan's like the only? Maybe it's because like I don't know how internet savvy you are, but trust me, trust me, okay. The fucking Discord servers I was hanging out in were a lot fucking worse than 4chan, okay? Trust me. Discord communities, Discord servers, especially like the smaller, more tight-knit ones I was in, they are able to get away with a lot more stuff than 4chan can get away with, okay? Because 4chan's a public message board. The Discord servers I was in were these small, tight-knit communities where beliefs and ideas could fester and spread.
Right. That's where most of it gets done. I understand.
It's more personal.
I mean, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, and that really wasn't as clear on your video, so now I understand that. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, maybe I could have made that more clear, but then again, it was a very long script, and I spent days making it. But
yeah, this is just what I got from your. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. So
it seems like you probably don't know about this concept, but there's a very important thing that we as like online leftists have to do, called inductive reasoning, because you can never actually know what someone believes. For example, you don't know that I'm a leftist. Nobody watching right now knows that I'm well, my girlfriend does, but nobody watching right now knows that I'm a leftist. The only way that you can have a reasonable understanding of what I believe is what I say and what I do. I've dedicated a considerable amount of my life to advocating for leftist causes. If I was secretly not a leftist and I was like secretly a Nazi or something, I'd be pretty fucking bad at it, right? The point that I'm making is you can never know what someone's thinking. You have to look at their behaviors and what they say and use that, what is available to you, the evidence available to you, to determine what you believe that person thinks. So if you are suspicious someone might be a Nazi, look at what they say and do. If they're saying and doing things that are Nazi-like, then you probably have a good reason to believe they're a Nazi. But if someone says, I used to be a Nazi and I'm not anymore, do you understand why it's not a good argument to say, show me where they're not a Nazi? You can't prove that.
But that's not my point at all. My point is
that's exactly what you asked me with that one person.
No.
From that
no,
tweet.
The point is to no. Well, that's a little bit different, but that's maybe kind of a point I was arguing, but my main point is the fact that when you say that person has said, I'm good now, Xander Hall's like, great, you're welcome in my community, and somebody that maybe been verbally assaulted by him, maybe, you know, something like that, they don't feel comfortable, they have to go. You're like, you can just go, you know? So I think what it is there's a fine line with you, like, gatekeeping, even with the people that have on the left that have screwed up, you know?
It's not
like,
gatekeeping. I'm leaving it completely up to the discretion of those involved. That is a personal situation. If somebody
see how you look when you're like,
no,
this other person's welcome here, but you're not if you have a problem with them.
Yeah,
Oh my God,
absolutely.
dude.
It's the same as if
You're just
it's the same as if there was just some other reason why two people in my Discord don't like each other, or one person doesn't like the other person. I'm not banning the person that the other person doesn't like. That's not like breaking the rules because because an ex-Nazi used to believe a thing and someone's not cool with that because they have a personal disagreement. That is up to either of them to decide to leave that situation. If it becomes a problem, like there start being arguments and shit like that, I'll deal with it. I'll be like, hey, stop arguing with each other. All right, get that shit out of here, right? But if no one's breaking
let's just do a
rules,
hypothetical. Let's just
you're
do a
the
hypothetical here.
sure. Let's do a hypothetical.
Let's
Give me
just
one.
do it. Okay, so ex-Nazi that used to spam the N-word, do all that stuff, whatever, at this person who
Mm-hmm.
is in your chat.
Yep.
Okay, that ex-Nazi says, "I'm all better now." They come into your chat. That person that they used to harass is in your chat. That person's like, "I don't trust these people no matter what." Which honestly, they have a right to do that, especially if you've been traumatized. Like,
Yep.
dude,
They
it's
have the right to do
trauma to
that. I
get
don't
like,
disagree with that. Their trauma
okay.
and their
But you
uncomfortableness is
listen.
valid.
But you're saying now that ex-Nazi can say, and that other person, that the person of color or whatever, they can just go if you don't like the Nazi. So you're basically tossing the leftists out for this person that has they verbally assaulted this person,
Mm-hmm.
and you're just like, no, you're more welcome than you. So you don't see how bad that
Wait, no
looks to
one's
the like.
unwelcome. I'd like an
No,
apology to
I know
occur,
because
but
you're
no one's
saying that. You're just
unwelcome.
like, you don't like it.
No,
You don't
no
like
one's
it. Get out
unwelcome.
of here.
It is completely
They
a
are
personal
unwelcome.
that person, if assuming that person is genuinely not a Nazi anymore, they aren't engaging in any Nazi behavior or saying any Nazi shit.
They just have to say it.
That's
They just have to say it. They just have to say it
no,
and
they
not
don't just
say
have
any
to say it.
more N
Wait,
words.
do you think if they just said I'm not a Nazi anymore and then started doing Nazi shit, that it would be like, well, they said they weren't a Nazi anymore? No, it's about what they do.
Okay, but they have done something that's really, really messed up. Never had to pay any type of price for it.
I don't
Just
believe
said,
in having to
"I'm not
pay
a
a
Nazi
price for
anymore."
something. I don't believe in order for
Well, I
someone
mean,
to be a good person, they have to pay
or
the
okay,
price
or
for
to
a
have
bad
an
thing they
art or
did.
whatever.
Wait, have you
Okay,
ever
maybe
done it?
that's
Have
not
you
a
ever
good
done like a bad thing in your life that you regret?
touch, but
Like, there's nothing
no,
you can think
not
of?
really. No.
Okay, man, you must be like a fucking flawless human being then. Damn, okay.
I'm
Um,
definitely not flawless, but everything I've done is to myself and not to other people.
you've never like
So
been
there you
like
go.
you've never hurt somebody emotionally or anything like that. You've never,
No,
never
no.
really, never
Yeah,
like been mean to somebody at school when you were
no,
younger. Never.
no.
Wow.
No, actually, I was actually your stereotypical SJW, and this person you think is just like a natural leftist and blah blah blah.
You were
Like
morally lucky. You were essentially born
I
into your
am that
beliefs.
person that you are saying that you
Yeah, you
don't
were
want to
more.
believe it.
It sounds like, at least from what you're telling me, you're morally lucky. You were essentially born into your beliefs.
Oh, I'm out in the
You
middle
lucked
of
out.
nowhere, surrounded by all. Dude, you don't even know where I live, man. You don't even know how I got brought up. There was nobody left. I had to do it all by myself.
Dude, do you
Oh
want to
man,
do you
you
want to
don't have no
compare
idea.
upbringings? I grew up in
I
fucking
especially with
Florida,
no, and you
okay?
had like no smartphones, no
Where do you grow
nothing,
up?
bro. And
Where do
I
you grow up?
in boring Oregon.
Oregon, dude. I grew up in Florida,
Boring,
okay? Dude, I grew up
boring.
in
Yeah.
Florida. I don't care about it being boring, okay? Just because where you grew up was boring doesn't mean it's going to make you into Nazi. I grew up in Florida, okay? I've never
So
seen, I've never, I don't think I've lived, up until I moved to California, I don't think I've lived in a place that didn't have all red across the whole state. Mayors and governor. I didn't even live to see a blue governor in Florida, okay? That's where I grew up,
the only
okay?
red.
All red, a red
The
across
only
the
red.
fucking board.
The rest of Oregon is red besides Portland. So, and I grew up in the red. So look,
Oregon's
and
still
I grew
like
up without smartphones and computers and all that shit, and I was way
hell.
left and knew
The
more.
smartphones and the computers probably kept you from going to the right. Hey, listen, trust
No,
me, trust
no.
me, trust me.
The fact that I wasn't gullible. I mean, kids like you are just gullible as
Gullible.
shit, you know? Yeah.
You think that you were like this impenetrable, like not gullible kid, like you weren't, capable of being like moved on any issues when you were
Mistakes?
younger?
No, I really am very over analytical on things, and I really think shit through
Damn,
hard. So maybe that's just my
shit.
thing, is I really think about shit.
Damn, if only
I don't have a
if
lot of trust.
only
I don't have a lot of
everybody
trust. Maybe
if
that's what
only
we're talking
everybody
about. But I
was
don't.
like you, dude. If only every
I'm not saying. Am I saying that? Am I doing that? Like, don't even. When you attack leftists that have been leftists for their whole life and stuff, you look so dumb, man.
No, I
Like
attack
a lot of
leftists
those
who've been
leftists that do
leftists for
that,
their whole
they don't
lives that
sit there
judge
and like.
people for having had bad opinions, then realized it was wrong and changed their minds because they heard the
I
best of right-wing arguments and still figured out it was wrong and changed their opinions. They weren't fucking morally lucky
people,
and
yeah, they might be better for to talk to other right wingers, but I mean, come on, man. Like you still have like reactionary tendencies and stuff like that. So
what
it's like,
reactionary tendencies do I have?
uh, gosh, I can't really remember as much off the top of
There's
my
not
head,
an
but sometimes
example
I'm
you
like,
can
damn,
think
you could
of.
tell.
There's not one.
Um, I right now I can't. I'm sorry, but I did say it a couple times in my head while watching the things. I'm like, damn, he's kind of, he's shaking a little bit. You
Wait,
know
do
what I
you
mean?
think that
So
like do you think that me being like boisterous on stream is a reactionary tendency?
it's just some shit you said before, man. I can't even exactly remember, so I'm sorry. I guess that was just. I guess I didn't have the example on hand, so
Okay.
my
Yeah.
bad.
Trust me, you won't find any reactionary tendencies that I have. It's possible that like
Just
maybe
don't think
like
you understand.
if you consider reactionary to be like insulting
Well, things you
people,
say too,
do you
like
think like
woke, saying woke scold, like calling
oh
me a woke scold, like
what do
saying
you
woke and saying doing the woke and all that. That's I know you're not trying to be racist and it's not like a thing, but to make fun of woke and to use it as a joke because woke is associated with, I mean, at least back in the day, the black community, like they were the only ones saying it back in the day and acting and doing like that type of stuff. So the right wing grabbed it, made it a bad thing, and have just tortured it up. And you were using it like, oh, woke scold. And it's like,
do
you
you know
don't
how
understand.
language
Like,
works?
well, I get it, but to other people that don't know what the new version of woke scold is, they're like, dude, that guy is a fucking jackass. Like, so,
Yeah, most of the
I
people that
mean,
I've found that think when I say woke scold, I'm referring to like people of color or marginalized people or whatever are typically extremely dishonest pieces of shit on Twitter that like haven't liked me ever and they're
but
just
that's
looking
the
for any
problem.
excuse to
Back in the
dislike me.
day, back in the day, I mean, like, it's just people that don't understand what you're trying to say, so it looks bad. And the fact that the right took woke and made it a bad thing, and you're now using it as a bad thing, it kind of seems like. I mean, I'm not saying it's like the worst thing or whatever. I'm just saying like,
How do you
you know,
feel about the people
I
that
still
were
don't think you
harassing
understand.
ContraPoints when the Buck Angel thing happened? The people that were taking joy in
Don't
ContraPoints
okay.
being so depressed from the harassment she was facing that she fell
Those are
back into
just pieces of
alcoholism.
shit. Those are just pieces of shit. They're not a woke
Wait,
scold. Like I mean, or maybe they're
do you
scolds.
think
Yeah, maybe they're
perhaps there
scolds. They're
may
like
do you
scolds.
wait, hold on, I'm really curious. Do you think perhaps there is utility in having a word that is a little less broad than just pieces of shit to refer to people who engage in abusive tendencies towards others but utilize woke
Not
language in order to engage in that
not
abusive
one.
behavior and
Not
mask it
one
in
that
woke
black people
language?
coveted. Not one that black people coveted at one point.
I'm sorry.
Black people
Words
coveted
aren't.
woke at one
The
point.
definition of words and their etymology is not static. The definitions of words
Well, I
change. Their
understand, but
usage changes. Do you know the word simp? The word simp used to stand for sucker idolizing mediocre pussy. It came from the LGBT community, people of color, back in the day in like the club scene. I'm pretty sure that's where
right,
the word
Sir Mix-a-Lot.
simp came from. Simp has
Sir
changed a
Mix-a-Lot. I knew what a
lot.
simp was way before you did. Yeah.
Yeah, you probably did, okay? And that's fine. The
Okay.
word simp has changed a lot nowadays. Simp means any dude who's nice to a simp means anything now,
The
honestly.
same thing. It
Being
meant the
nice
same
to
thing back then. That meant the same thing back then. They
no,
just
it
did the
didn't.
little. They put
No,
the
it didn't. Simp was
sucker.
not used the same way from its origin as it is now.
Oh,
A dude who comments like a nice thing below a woman's post will be called a simp. That was not how simp was used
it's
in the
gone way out.
LGBT
It's gone
community
way out of bounds
when
now.
it
It's gone
originated.
way out of bounds.
Yeah, because
It's
that's what
simp
happens
even a
with
couple years
words.
back. Simp even a couple years back was somebody who was just kissing a girl's ass, and that's what
Yeah,
it's always
like a
been.
white knight. Yeah, I know. But
Right.
definitions of words change. Their etymology
Okay, but now it's
changes.
changing. Okay, that, okay, but to most of the population, it kind of still means the same. Sorry, they don't know. So you look
No.
like you're just
Most
thinking
people were
that.
not the word simp for the most part, did not become mainstream until it honestly got mainstream around the time its definition had changed to what it's used as now.
Yes.
The old
Well, it was
definition
just in the
and
hip hop
etymology of
community.
it.
It was just, yeah.
Yeah,
Simply
my
heavy in
argument
the
is
hip-hop
the argument that I'm making right now is I don't care what the origin of the term woke scold is. It is a word that's
Woke, not
definition.
scold. You can call them scolds. I don't care. I don't care if you call them even
What?
pieces of dog
I,
shit.
I
Okay.
don't
It's just a
care.
problem with
I don't
woke.
care.
Okay, so it meant something to black people. Now you're saying you don't care. I don't give a shit.
The
It's like
word
this.
woke isn't a problem. Woke scold. The scold
Yeah,
is
but you're
a
associating with it, and sometimes you're like, oh, they're so woke.
Do you know
it's like
do you know what a prefix is?
what?
A prefix is when you have a word and the beginning of that word adds on to the second half. I believe it's called an affix, if I'm correct. I haven't taken an English class in a long time. And when you combine these two words, the definition changes. It's a different word now. Woke scold is all one word. Woke is different from woke
You're saying
scold.
woke? You're saying woke like they know so much. You're saying, dude, don't even pull that crap.
Wait, what? Wait, what do you mean by know so much?
The woke is still being used as the same word.
No,
you're just a
the
woke scold. You're not just
woke
woke. You're a
scolds
woke
are
scold.
abusive people who utilize progressive or woke language.
Scolding people.
No.
People who scold other people heavy and they're assholes.
No. That is not how I use the term woke scold the vast majority of the time.
But how other people see it doesn't matter how Xander Hall uses
I've explained my definition of woke scold plenty. You can go back to 2019 and I've used this definition of woke
Nobody has seen your videos that just pop in today and you're using it. Nobody has seen those videos. They're just being like, dude, this guy's an ass,
Holy shit. My chat's right. My patience is astounding. God damn. I have the patience of a saint.
What?
Hold on. What do you think the definition of woke scold is?
You're just not seeing what?
What do you think the definition of woke scold is?
Somebody who thinks they know everything that are scolding people online. That's what a woke scold is.
That could be an attribute of a woke scold. When I call someone a woke scold,
well, that's what mainly it is. Whatever you want to think it is, yeah, it's anything. It's whatever. But what it really means is that, okay? What it means to a lot of people is that, okay? What it means to Xander Hall and his community might be way something different that nobody else knows. But when you say it, they think you mean the main one. So
yeah, maybe they should stop. Man. Maybe they should stop trying to misrepresent what I believe and listen to what I actually believe.
It's just what you're saying, man. It doesn't.
When I say listen to what I believe, that means listen to what I'm saying, because I talk about what I believe. That's kind of what my stream is.
Somebody just popped in for 20 minutes and only just got that, and they hadn't seen any Xander Hall before that. You expect them to go, you should know exactly what I'm saying.
If I need to clarify, yes. Do you think that I need to reiterate every single thing?
Well, they're just going to bounce. They're just going to bounce.
That's fine. If they come in and they don't like what I believe, then they can leave. Do you know how many, you do realize that, I have a consistent, typically, around 500 to 800 viewers on my politics streams, but whenever I end my stream, my VOD has, 8,000 views, because 8,000 total people have come in and out, but it's kind of fluctuated around a constant 500 to 800 people watching.
Right.
People are constantly coming in and out.
How many of those people would have subscribed if you weren't using the word woke? And scold, maybe shit scold. Whatever.
Wait, how many of those people do you think wouldn't have subscribed if I wasn't using
it? Would have subscribed if you weren't saying it?
Probably not many.
Maybe.
Probably not many.
I think you'd be surprised. In the time, some of the stuff you use, I think you'd be surprised about how many older leftists are like, man, they don't know what woke scold in Xander Hall's community means.
Hold on.
They're just hearing you using woke in bad
I'm going to be honest. If there are people who are already leftists that see my content and decide it's not for them, that is fine. My goal is not to preach to the choir. My goal is to educate people who don't already know these things. Most older leftists especially.
Then you're just a haven for Nazis in the middle of the roads. That's all it is. No leftists can no leftists should give a shit to to
They should give a
try to
shit.
keep up on
But
new leftist
I'm not
things like
just trying
what a
to.
woke scold is, like what a woke scold is.
I see the problem here. You want my channel to be a safe space for me to preach to the choir and circle jerk with other people who already agree
It's
with
not a
me,
safe. I
and
didn't
not a
mean
goal
that.
of
No,
and not for me to achieve my goal of educating as many people as possible that don't already understand these issues.
no, that's not what I'm saying at all. Not even close. So
In
what
fact, I've
I'm
actually got a
saying
fair
is,
amount of diversity among ideologies among the left in my audience, honestly. My
I'm not. Look, I'm
actual,
not saying. I didn't say that.
believe it or not, you are actually pretty close to the average age of my viewers. Most of my viewers,
Right.
like the vast majority of my audience, you said that a lot of older leftists are going to unsub from me, or
Not
not
unsub.
going to enjoy
I
my
didn't say
content,
unsub. That weren't
or
sub.
not support me.
That weren't subbed. That maybe came on to view it. That saw that and were like, I'm not going to sub.
Well, that's weird when
Not
you consider
unsubbed.
that that can't be proven in any way. There's no way to prove that. But what I can prove, because I have the demographic
But
breakdown on my YouTube, is that the vast majority of my fan base ranges 25 to 40. Like
all right,
60% of my
I
audience
don't
is
think it's like
25 to 40.
the only thing. Oh yeah, maybe it's. But how you look to older leftists that don't know all the new slang terms, you know, uh, it looks a little right wing, So it's tough, I'm not saying that you are. I'm not saying it has to be a safe space. I'm just, you and Bosch should get worried about optics and stuff. So
Oh, trust me. I
I'm just trying to
promise
tell
you,
you.
my optics are a lot better than the optics that, like, you and those that I assume agree with you on this issue are presenting. Because, like, anybody who's thinking about getting into the left and joining these social spaces and learning more about these things, which, by the way, I haven't even gotten into this in my video or in this debate, but a significant amount of adopting new political opinions and moving to the left and to the right, this happens in any political space, happens when you have in-depth personal discussions and friendships with people that can move you in that direction, people that you trust and people that you have camaraderie with. It's not just watching YouTube videos and the internet, it's
Your
personal
real core. That's
relationships.
just your real core audience, man. I mean, like you said, you have way more that dip in and out, and don't really like.
That's
Maybe
every
probably don't watch
streamer.
your
That is
whole.
every content creator ever.
Well, okay, yeah, right. I'm just saying that you're acting like you're just like everybody's so just hyper focused on your shit and analyzing exactly what you're saying and trying to understanding everything what you say. People
I'd
don't.
say those that are hyper focusing on all of my shit are probably those that like really don't like me and just want to find any reason not to like me.
Well, but you're saying you're expecting people to be hyper focused on it because they have to know everything that you're saying, or
What do you mean hyper
or just
focused?
bug
If
off.
I
Well,
what do you mean
that
hyper
they need to that they
focused?
need to know that
Most
they need
people
to
listen to
know
my
exactly
streams
what
while they're
you mean
doing
by woke school.
chores. Most people listen to my streams while they're studying or doing chores or homework or playing video games in the background.
Right. That's when I listen to it when I work.
Yeah, that's what
I
the
watch
vast majority
basically
of
all
people
your
do.
shit, man.
Then it's
I watch all
astonishing
your
to me
shit.
that you're saying the things that you're saying to me right now.
I'm not because you're going the wrong way. You're like or not. You're going about this the wrong way. Not going the wrong way. I don't think people should be attacking people that have said that they're ex-Nazis. I think that people should be a lot more wary and a lot more needing of maybe a little bit more evidence that they're not Nazis to be more accepting into these spaces.
You
And
can't
you
prove a
shouldn't be
negative.
shoving out.
You can't have evidence someone's not a Nazi. You need evidence they are a Nazi. And if there's a lack of evidence to prove that, then they aren't a Nazi most likely. If there's no evidence that they're a
Just
Nazi,
say it, yeah.
you can't prove a negative.
I know, but to just be a blind accepting to everybody is also what you shouldn't be doing. And I believe that
I
there is
don't blind. Do you
somewhere
think
in
I blindly
between,
accept
somewhere
people?
in between what you think those people are doing and you, like the people, well, maybe like me, you think it's me is trying to tell you, that they can't come back in, those people and you. There's something in between, and the way you're going about it and conflating kids that were barely in the rabbit hole to crazy Nazis, and we have to treat them the same, even if they've said sorry. It looks bad,
No,
It looks bad to people of
no,
color.
I think that wait, that's irrelevant. I think that
That's not irrelevant. That's exactly what you're saying and doing.
my goal is to reach everyone from like people who are a day away from shooting up a mosque and to people who are like edgy anti-SJWs or centrists. I want to reach all of those people and pull them from the left and make them not believe the shitty things they believe. Maybe that's like
But
crazy.
when
Maybe
you're
that's a
doing that, while
crazy
you're doing that,
goal.
you're
But
taking you're taking a people of color seat, pulling it out, and giving it to the Nazi and being like, "You are more welcome here now."
what
That you've
seat?
just said this.
Whose seat am I taking away?
Oh, man, I mean, you see it. It is a problem. People of color that have been harassed their whole lives and stuff will never trust Nazis. Never. Doesn't matter. I honestly, it's okay.
Well, they don't need to
Yes,
trust
maybe us,
Nazis. I would
maybe
just
the
prefer
society
if
by
they
whole can do it.
didn't go out of their way to harass ex-Nazis who've made an effort to
They
change
don't.
their opinions and be better people.
But they're still in the little community that this person was in. Now this person really doesn't feel welcome because they're like, wow, they care more to let this piece of shit that's been a piece of shit his whole life, but now he says he's okay. And now I got to go because I have a problem with it, you know? And I'm not saying this is like, um, you know, all the time, but this is how you're coming off. And I think that people of color see that and they're like, dude, I don't care what Nazis have done. Fuck all of them, you
Hold
know?
on,
And
hey
so
chat, hypers if you're a person of color. I'm just curious because like nobody in the chat has been agreeing with you. I mean, granted, it
bullshit
is my
too.
community.
I could go back to most of my friends. I could get them on and they'd be like, dude, yeah, we've gotten beat up, spit on, all this shit, you know, like, I raped, murdered. Well, you can't talk to the people who have been murdered because Nazis murder people. So is this a murdering Nazi who I'm better now? You know, like, it's just
Yeah,
tough, you know.
if they've changed their opinions, yeah, and they're not Nazis
That
anymore.
Nazi murdered this person of color's family member, and then that person of color is supposed to be like, oh yeah, he says he's better now. You know, I just need to be in the same community with him,
Does this
or I got
person
to get out because
does this
Xander
person
Hall won't be like, hey bro, you just got to get out of here for what you've done. You know,
This is
this person's
actually
worth more than
this is a really interesting hypothetical because of how many layers it goes through. So for one, how do
sure.
I know this
I
person
mean,
murdered
this
someone?
is a lot.
Two,
This isn't
have
simple.
they
This
do they
isn't
have
simple.
murderous tendencies? Like are they like on the edge of like attempting to kill someone constantly, but now they aren't Nazis? Like are they a dangerous person because of like other reasons
Maybe they're
besides
fully
being a
reformed.
Nazi?
Maybe
If they're
they're
fully
fully
reformed,
reformed.
they have no chance of hurting anybody. They are leftists now. They are not Nazis anymore. Yes, they are fucking accepted.
Well, what if they're not leftists? What if they're just wanting to be in your community? What if they're just said, I'm not? Because that's what most of these people that have done these
What
tweets and stuff,
but they're
you're
progressive?
the only one that says that you've been a leftist. Most of those tweets and shit are just like, I'm not a Nazi anymore. What does that mean? You know, like
I
you could
mean,
be like
that
a
particular person is a
not
leftist.
leftist.
That
No,
particular
well,
person's a
who?
leftist. The person that you brought up, that was in the screenshot, the person who got harassed by all those
Those
people.
just well, they should have said that then in that thing. That would have been a little bit better.
Do
But
you
this is
think it
the
was
problem.
reasonable
It's
for that
when people
person
are
to
just like,
expect
I'm
for
not a
that?
Nazi anymore.
Do you think it was
Most of the
reasonable?
people,
Do you think it was reasonable for that person to expect that in that like little fucking response to somebody that they were going to get screenshotted and that post was going to go viral, that they should have like typed out their entire fucking history that like, yeah, I was a Nazi, but then I blah 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 and now I'm a leftist and I'm much better now? Or do you think it was just like literally the post
that's
was
what you
just
said they should
the
do. That's what
post
you said they should do. That's what you said that
I
right
said
after
it would
that.
have
They're like,
I
I
said
would
it
have
would have been
reworded it different.
ideal. I said it would have been ideal if they did that, not that
Yeah,
it
but
was reasonable for them to
that's
expect they should
hindsight.
have.
That's bullshit hindsight. They said that. A lot of people freak out.
Do you think it is bad to say, hey, in hindsight they could have done this and it would have gone better for them
No, it's
without
not bad, but you're just being like, well, they should have, and it's like they didn't, you know, and it looks bad, you know. So it looked bad. I wouldn't have freaked out on it. I wouldn't have done that, but I would have been like, man, that person was terrible wording, you know, and that's what I thought. It was just terrible. I mean, you just look like a little sarcastic idiot that didn't say anything. But I was Nazi more, but now I'm okay. And like most
it
people are
was a
like,
response to a tweet that had like 100 likes that said all teenagers are dumb. Don't fucking beat yourself up about it. And she responded,
still,
yeah, I was a Nazi, but I'm much better now. Like
and with a smiley face and shit. It just looks like it kind of looks to other people like you're being sarcastic, and that's what the problem was.
Wait, do you
Honestly,
think
it just
saying
looked
I used to be a
sarcastic
Nazi and now I'm better now and then smiling as because it's a good thing that you're not a
with a
Nazi
short
anymore? Do you
little
think
thing like that. With a short little thing like that, to a lot of people, it probably just seemed like sarcastic, and they weren't too like genuine about it. And
I
that's
don't
why I
know.
think a lot of
The
people got
the
upset.
the biggest responses to that, the ones that had tens of thousands of likes, all said white leftists are too willing to accept people who used to be Nazis, or saying once a Nazi, always a Nazi. So is your issue with that person's
And I don't agree. I
sarcasm?
don't agree with people saying that online. I don't, but I also sympathize with a lot of people that do say that because they have been tortured. A lot of the people that
Okay,
say
the
fuck
vast
Nazis till they
majority.
die.
I hate that I have to say this, okay, but this should be fucking obvious. The vast majority of even people of color on Twitter have not been tortured by Nazis. Okay, it's just not the case. They maybe been
Black
like
person I talk
harassed
to
on
online
Twitter.
is like, try being black online. Try it. Like a lot of my black friends are like,
Sure,
dude, doesn't matter whatever you
a
do.
lot of black people on the internet get called the N word and stuff like
And
that. That is not torture.
okay,
The comparison that you're drawing, or the emotion you're trying to evoke, is as
dude,
though they've been beaten or assaulted by like Proud Boys or
who are you to
Nazis
say? Who
at
are you?
protests.
Who are you to say that they shouldn't be like really, really, really hurt by people calling them the N word? You can't say like, oh, just let it roll off your back. That's what you're saying. You're
I
like,
didn't say someone shouldn't be hurt by it. Did I ever say that, or did I say it wasn't tantamount to
say, yeah,
torture?
you're like, it's not. Yeah, it's not torture. That's
It's
not
not even
torture.
tantamount to torture. It's not even comparable to torture.
It's torture when it happens a lot, and it happens a lot. That's what I mean. Yeah, that one little instance right there, but it happens a lot. That's tantamount to torture.
So do you
Torture.
think like when I get called the
Okay,
F
okay.
slur on Twitter,
Sorry,
that's
sorry.
torture?
Terrorize. How about terrorize? Maybe that's a better word. Terrorize.
Sure, that would be a
Fucking
lot
terror.
closer than torture. So do you think I'm being terrorized when someone like comments on like one of my Twitter posts calling me like the F slur or something?
No,
Or the R
because you're
slur even
not
better.
that.
Or the R
You're
slur even
not
better.
that.
I have
Okay,
ADHD. So
okay.
the
If
R slur
somebody was gay, if
would be a
somebody was
slur
gay and
for
people were saying that, if somebody was gay and people were saying that to him,
no,
I would say, yeah, I'm not. We're not
For
going to
me.
say
No, no,
who
no.
what.
Between you and me, I'm curious. I have
Because
ADHD.
it doesn't. You're
I've been
not.
diagnosed with ADHD. Okay. If
Oh,
someone comments
me
on one of
too.
my Twitter posts, yeah, a lot of people have ADHD. If someone responds to one of
Yeah,
like comments
everybody
on one of my
does.
Twitter posts, calling me the R slur, am I
Oh,
being
the R slur.
terrorized? Because the R slur is
No,
ableist.
because it honestly because of its the R slur is bad. I'm not saying it's not good or anything, but it's way different than the N word. It is. I know. I don't think people should be saying it at all, but it's way different.
So now we're
Way different.
doing like the unironic like oppression Olympics thing. I hold basic
Okay.
I hold all slurs
We're talking about just kind of the N word here.
at this
So
point with my ideology, I hold all slurs to the
and
same
the F
level.
slur or the F slur to gay, the F slur to gay. That's way worse than R slur because it's
Ah,
just the
shit, there are plenty of
connotations and
slurs.
everybody that's saying it.
Ah, my
It the history of those. It's like it's way more impactful to people. So, I've been called the R slur, so it doesn't matter. Like, I mean, it's like it's to a point to where it's like, I mean, I never say it, and I don't want people to say it at all. But man, if somebody that says that, I just laugh at them because they're probably got problems. So anyway, I just think that I guess if you were just a little bit more open to be like, hey, look, this is just for middle of the roads and right wingers here. It's you're all welcome. Leftists, you kind of just want to go somewhere else. Like that's what it kind of seems like you're doing.
I mean
And
like I'm blown away at everything that you said here because it seems like almost everything every opinion that you've put forth to me here is unbelievably counterproductive. And I would even go as far as to say not even leftist. Like the idea that people need to pay the price for bad things that they've done in the past is like,
I just said they had. I didn't think they should. But you're saying that somebody who has spent time in jail, getting and got reformed and been out has actually had to pay a price for it. Not like I'm not saying they should. I'm just saying you're comparing somebody that's like spent years of their life
no,
away from everything
you
to think about
specifically
it.
said that that they have to pay the price.
No, I didn't say they have to. I said they had paid the price. I didn't say like I think they should. I meant you're comparing somebody who was a shithead Nazi. Nobody kind of knows about it. They can just say I'm better now, to somebody who has gone to prison.
You're
spent a bunch of time in prison and is probably more reformed and come out. You're saying that it's like that's like the same. It's just a bad comparison, I think, is like when you're comparing them to people that have like literally gone to prison, you know?
Okay. I mean, this is going to go up. This debate will go up as a video on YouTube. So if you want to rewatch it, you can see where you said multiple times that like you don't believe that ex-Nazis have atoned enough because they haven't paid the price. I mean, you've said it multiple times.
I don't think that. I just said that they hadn't paid the price than somebody in prison. I wasn't saying that they have to pay the price. I'm not saying that. You go back and watch the video. I didn't say
it's
that.
it's gonna go up as a video. Yeah, the recording on my hard drive filled up. So
put it all up right now.
Right now.
Bring it all the way up to here. Yeah, bring it all the way up to here. Don't cut it out. Don't cut it. Just do all raw.
I don't cut any. Trust me, this debate is good content. I have no restraint or.
Well, I don't know if we've gotten anywhere. I don't know if we've even gotten.
It's good content. My chat has been laughing at you, so it's good content.
Well, it doesn't. I don't give a shit. Like that doesn't.
Do you understand? Like everything, every belief.
I'm trying to show you what you're doing to the people of color.
I've been.
And
wait, what am I doing to people of color? What am I doing to people of color? Please.
You're telling them to leave and giving a seat to somebody who can just say, I'm an ex-Nazi and doesn't do anything.
Okay. That is not what's happening. If there is a social space...
You're totally doing that.
If there is a social space... If there is a social space, like my community, and there are two people who have a disagreement with each other because of some past beef, because one of them is a Nazi, one of them is a person of color, and that Nazi happened to know that other person and called them a slur or something online, and they don't like each other, that is for them to deal with until it becomes such an issue that I have to get involved and intervene in some way because it's starting to interrupt the ability for the community to function, and it's starting to cause everyone to have a bad time.
So the person of color, you just got to be cool with it, bro. That's what you're saying. You just got to be cool with it or get out of here. So I'm just saying how you're looking.
If they're being made uncomfortable by the presence of someone who's not a Nazi anymore, then it is up to them whether or not they want to stick around or go away.
All they have to do is say it. All they have to do is say it. They don't have to do a full or arc video. Well, you did this whole video so everybody knows
because I'm a YouTuber.
Left you are and you're online.
Wait, do you think that to be accepted that people have to make a video?
If everybody was like that, it might be a lot easier for people. I'm not saying they have to do it, but it's like that's so easy for everybody to go, oh yeah, he's totally cool. Most of these people, we're just going by their word, and it's tough, because a lot of people have been...
Because you can only go off of the word of what someone says and their behaviors and their actions. If what they say matches their behaviors and their actions, there is most likely no reason to suspect that they are lying about their beliefs, unless there's evidence that they believe otherwise. It's called inductive reasoning.
Sure. But you also have to realize that... Okay, have you ever heard the term Lucy in the football?
No, I haven't. Well, I assume it has to do with like Lucy pulling the football away from Charlie Brown and he goes to kick it and he does the flip and he gets debated.
Every single time, and Charlie Brown falls for it. And does Charlie Brown look like an idiot? Yes.
Yeah, he does.
A lot of people are like, once a Nazi, always a Nazi, which I don't believe that, but there's that much, anger for people to say that what Nazis have done. So, these people could say this shit, but unless they do something drastic, that people can see or do, it's hard to be accepting of these people, and for you to just say, dude, you guys are totally cool, totally believe everything you say now. If you just shut up about Nazi and you're totally welcome. And it's
it's them changing their opinions and their behavior. I care about people. How though?
How do you know they've changed their beliefs? How do you know that? We just talked about that.
Because they don't do things Nazis do. They don't say slurs. They don't engage in Nazi rhetoric. You can't prove a negative.
Online, but in their head, and what they do is still Nazi shit. They're like, okay, I better not do that stupid shit because I just get banned from everywhere.
So they're only a Nazi in their head. They don't say or do anything Nazi-like.
or not Nazi online, you know. Hey, but okay, is that like
So they don't do
okay?
anything Nazi-like, then it doesn't matter because they're not hurting anybody.
Online. I'm
Because you
saying
can't know
online
when
in front of,
someone's...
in the public. This is one of the problems with
Oh,
Nazis.
but at, like
They are
in the
totally
public,
Nazis
so
behind the wall. What?
okay, most of the time Nazis are Nazis online, and typically they go mask on when they're in
There's
public.
way more Nazis that do not uh, show themselves as a Nazi.
Hold on,
If you don't
are
think
we
that,
talking about internet Nazis,
all
Aryan
Nazis.
Brotherhood, Nazi gangs? Because these are very different
Well, it could be
communities.
anybody. Yeah, any Nazi. That's the thing is you seem to be talking about we have to forgive all Nazis. You know, and I'm like, yeah,
Wait,
little
forgive all Nazis?
edgelords.
No, not forgive all Nazis, except
That's what
people
you're
who used
saying.
to be reactionaries. This includes Nazis
Well,
to
okay, all
conservatives to
Nazis that
anti-SJWs
say
who have
that
changed.
they're good.
Why
All
do you keep
Nazis that
saying
say that
just
they're
say
good.
it they're good? People who
Because that's what
aren't
I
Nazis
mean, that's all you
anymore.
have to do. That's all you have to do to get back into your good grace. Is just be like, I was a Nazi, but now I'm not anymore. Teehee.
You
And
think that's
then
it?
I
After
don't say any
everything we've
what?
talked about, you genuinely think that's it? You think that someone could come in and say, I'm not a Nazi anymore, and then go and be a Nazi and I'd be okay with it? I wouldn't
Not be a
immediately ban
Nazi.
them? Do things
Well,
that
no,
Nazis do. Do
no,
things
but
that reactionaries do.
no, but the people of color know what those people are like. That it's usually just somebody that is just saying it so they don't get chastised by everybody, you know. And
If there is a person
they
of
still hold those
color,
beliefs. They still hold those beliefs. They still hold those beliefs, beliefs, but just don't say it online. You know what I mean? So it's tough to say this person is, you know, like you said, you can't know, and so that's the problem. Is like, um, I don't know.
if they're secretly
I
racist or secretly a Nazi and they're not hurting anybody because they're not saying or doing anything Nazi-like, then how would you even know?
they go to not, but they go to Nazi marches on the weekend. And you're just like,
Then
I
how
mean,
would
you're
I
like that's
know?
gullible as shit, bro.
So do I just
Well, I
not
know,
believe
but like
anyone
this
who says
happens
that
a
they're
lot.
not a Nazi? Because what if they're in real
No,
life, unless I know their exact identity, they're going out and doing Nazi marches and they're going to Charlottesville
but
2.0?
don't give them priority to people of color who'd rather not
What do you
have
mean
them
by
there.
give them priority? My goal isn't to preach to the
Or you say
choir.
you're giving them priority. You just said
Wait,
it's all for
what
these
would you
people. It's not
say
really for
if my
leftists.
channel was about white splaining the oppression of black people to black people? That sounds like what you want me to
Nobody's
do
saying do
here.
that. Nobody's saying do that. Nobody's saying do that. I think what you do best is show, um, I guess like, um, you know, I guess more progressive leftist views, and you bring them to the table that people might not know about as much. You know, you don't have to be like a white savior thing. You know, nobody's expecting you to be that. But to say that you're a haven for some, is there an ex-Nazi is like, it's tough. And it's tough for people of color to be like, yeah, that's great. I want to be around there. So
That's
I
so
just
are
think
you talking about
it's a lot more
exception?
complicated than what you're doing. Like
So
how
are you
you're going
talking
about it and what
about
you're saying and what you're doing. It's so much more complicated than
are
that.
you talking about being accepted in the left as a political movement or being accepted in social spaces such as Discord servers and Twitter groups and friend groups?
All. Basically, you've said all. You've said all. You've said social spaces. You've said the left. You've said all
I've
spaces.
never once said that if you feel uncomfortable with someone who used to be a Nazi, that you should be forced to have them in your social group or
I
that you
think
should be
what
forced to interact with
it came
them.
off is you don't have to be in that social group anymore. That's how it kind of came off.
I
Like
said
if
that
you don't want,
everybody has the right to discriminate who they want to be friends with based on what those people believe or how they behave.
but okay, but I'm talking about leftists that maybe would be in a social group that the Nazi came into. Now that person has to leave, you know, because they're like, yeah, they'd
They don't
rather have
have
this
to
piece of
leave.
shit that.
What they do is
Well,
completely their
I
decision.
mean, I mean, you're just saying that. You're just like, buck up, bro, or just get out.
Should I
Like
ban
that's
that
what you're saying right
person?
there.
Wait, should I ban that? What would you have me do?
No, but it's just a lot more complicated, and I think that
Yeah, it's
you're
complicated. If it
going
gets to be a problem, I'll deal with it. I've had
okay, but you're
situations where
just like
people have had disagreements over things, and I sorted it out. I was like, hey, stop doing that. Keep it in private, or don't talk to each other. If one of you
that doesn't
sees
happen
the
all
other
the time
person,
too. I
then
mean, that would be good.
or block,
That
or
would
if it's Discord or my chat, you know you can block people in my chat and my and Twitch chat and my on my Discord, right? You can literally block them, and they can't see what you say, and you can't see what they say, right? So like nobody gets banned.
Okay. Okay, but the people that see you as being like, you guys are both just as welcome
Yeah, they
is
are.
just they see that as, I know. And what I'm trying to tell you is people, not all people of color, I'm not saying all people of color, but people of color that I know, they would be like, oh, dude, that guy is just like simping to Nazis. Like he's just like, if anybody wants to be just tell him that they're cool and get into his chat and sit there, like he's gonna do it. And it's like, it's tough. So
I don't know, dude. I'm going to be
I don't
honest
know,
with
man.
you. I think that I would have been way more turned off from leftism or the progressive movement if when I looked at, like, from the outside in, if I saw people saying the shit that you're saying, feeling like, and this is very important to remember. Are you familiar with the idea of isolation when it comes to radicalizing people to the far right? If you're, I assume you're not. This is a very classic tactic used way before the internet was a thing, way before you were even born. When it came to radical groups, particularly when it came to Nazi and white power groups, what they would do is they would radicalize young, vulnerable people, usually found in the
In
street, usually in
prison,
a bad situation or in prison. And what they would do is they'd
church,
isolate them. They would
church
isolate
is a
them
big one.
from churches. One too, yeah, sure. And they would isolate
Big
them
one.
from
That's one of the
family.
biggest.
Sure. And they would isolate them from friends and family because if you had nowhere else to turn, you had nowhere else to go. You were stuck with the Aryan Brotherhood. You were stuck with the
Nobody's
neo-Nazi
disagreeing
movement,
with you
and it
there.
works the same way online. They push you to a point where you are so unpalatable to everywhere else that you have no other communities to go to. You feel like no one else will accept you, and you have nowhere to go. You're too far into it to get out of it now. And when I was going down the right-wing rabbit hole, the alt-right rabbit hole, if I saw people on the left talking like you were instead of the open communities that I became a part of as I started to get into leftism and into progressive ideology, then I would have been pushed away because I would have felt like there's no going back. I've gone too far. I can never get out of this. No one will ever accept me. I'm done. My life, my entire social life is done. No one will ever accept me. I'm too
I
far
told
in.
you.
I'm in too deep.
Listen, I told you that I don't agree with people saying that stuff to people that say they're ex-Nazis online. I don't think that's good,
But the
but you
stuff
have
you
to.
have been saying in this entire debate is the same kind of shit that will have made those people feel that way if they were anybody who is like on the fence right now, who's been moving a little bit more to the left away from the Nazi shit because they've been watching my content, and there's some silent person who
That's
doesn't
such a
talk in the chat
bullshit
that's
thing to
watching right
say.
now.
You don't know that. You don't know that. Like that's just as
I
saying
am
like, oh
very
yeah,
sure of that because the
that's like
idea of
saying
isolation when it comes to radical cult-like groups
so
like the far right, this
these
has been a thing that has
so
been
these
well
little
studied and practiced for a long time,
so these
way
little
before
edge
either of
lords.
us were even born.
So these little hard ass edgelords that could just be jokesters and take all these jokes and harass other people. The second a leftist says you might be a dick, they're like, cry. Like I'm not saying it's
Holy
good, but it's like
shit.
you're just saying
Do
like
you I'm
you're
curious
like,
if you know how bad faith what you just said was.
what? What?
You
Where?
just said these edgelords who are so fun making jokes that they hear someone say they're an asshole, they're gonna be like, well, there's no going back. No. Now, no, if they
Yeah.
felt like there was no way they were going to be accepted in any other group, in any lefty group, there was no social spaces where they would be accepted, then they're gonna feel like they've become too ostracized from the rest of
That's just
society
one
to get
people.
out. What?
Where have been these social spaces that have exiled these ex-Nazis? You're just seeing one or two tweets and
I
shit.
don't know.
Like
The tweets with
you're
like
that
tens of thousands of
your
likes
shit is
saying once a
bullshit.
Nazi, always a Nazi, you'll never be accepted, will never feel safe around you, you don't belong in the leftist
Okay,
movement.
there are a couple of those that are very
With
extreme. Some of
tens
them
of
aren't, but you know
thousands.
what?
These are the
Is that
biggest tweets,
is that
tens of thousands of likes.
okay? But where have those Nazis been kicked out of social spaces? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they've been, people have said that and it's shitty and blah blah blah. But where have they been actually kicked out? It's like
I don't know. What about we go
that's
back
never.
to the example of that one tweet that we were talking about earlier, where that person was being sent literal death threats? I'd say that's tantamount to being kicked out of some social spaces.
But the thing is Nazis do way more death threats. So, I mean, everybody does. It's shitty. I don't think it's good.
Well, there we go.
But everybody. I mean, you were telling people to go kill themselves like 3 times on your last stream.
You got me, dude.
Oh, hello?
Yep, I'm here.
Oh.
Do you think
I
me
thought you
making a joke about someone shoving their head into blender is the same as sending someone a death threat?
No, but you're telling people to go kill themselves, and death threats are usually just bullshit, anyways. So, I mean, I'm not saying that it's the same,
Do
but
you think I'm pretty sure that
I think it's
person
almost
is
more
like,
dangerous. It's almost more dangerous to tell people to kill themselves than you're going to kill them. So, I think it's more dangerous, like, because people that usually say they're gonna kill you, like, dude, people you'd say that jokingly. I'm gonna kill you, like just stupid shit sometimes. So yeah, I mean, we're getting off on some stupid shit right here, but whatever.
wait,
Anyway,
what you just said is unbelievably stupid. The idea that someone messaging you saying that, like I've had people send me my parents' address and say they're gonna like this is the kind of shit that this person was getting, and you think that's
if you,
tantamount to
I've had that shit too. I've had like a band of fucking hillbillies come to my goddamn house and like shit. So yeah, bro, like don't tell me. Yeah, man.
I
Like I understand, but everybody gets harassed. Black people get that shit so
oh,
much.
trust me, I know black people get harassed on the internet. That doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about right now. We're talking about the
Yeah, but I'm just saying
acceptance of
that
ex
it's just
reactionaries
a
and leftist communities and social spaces.
sure. Well, we got off on some shit, so
What is your like if you could summarize your entire issue with
beef.
me or what I was saying in like one or two sentences or a short paragraph, what would it be?
Yeah, I think you are conflating levels of people like um alt light or like edge lords to full blown crazy Nazis. And when you say that they're all just as forgivable if they say uh they're good, it's just looks bad. And you look bad to people of color when you're like, yeah, these gnarly ass just pieces of shit are just totally welcome, and you're not as welcome if you can't deal with them being here. I
Okay.
think that's kind of
There's a lot that I would like to take apart, but there was one part that stuck out to me the most, and I'm really curious. Do you think
okay.
somebody that used to be a Nazi who realizes it's wrong and reforms and is no longer a Nazi, do you think that person is a piece of shit?
No, but are they though? That's the problem. Is most people say they are, but they really aren't. And they're kind of just saying it online, and they don't really want to be kicked out of shit. And they're like, yeah, I'm not that.
No,
But they really think it. And
I'm gonna be honest with you, somebody who's trying to hide the fact that they're a Nazi and they're like an undercover Nazi wouldn't say that they used to be a Nazi, because then they're gonna have way more scrutiny on them. They would join a fucking server or a social
they're
space and
they're
say,
not okay. Maybe
"Hi,
because they're not
I'm a
left.
trans femboy," and then that would be the best way for them to go undercover in those communities, rather than like
Maybe
saying I'm an
maybe it's just them
ex-Nazi.
being left. Maybe it's just you think that they're leftists now, like
They don't have to be
being like,
leftists. I'll accept people who are
eh,
centrists in that because they're more like if they're watching my content, they're more likely to be moved left. I accept liberals in my community, sock dems. Listen, I make fun of liberals plenty, but that doesn't mean that I prefer them
there's
over reactionaries.
saying like I just don't think people. I don't think a lot of the Nazi has been totally shaken off, and that happens a lot. And I
Well,
think you
changing your
going like
political
they're all better
opinions.
now.
So here's the thing. Changing your political how do you think someone who has like let's say we have somebody who used to be a Nazi, they're not a Nazi anymore. They're actually they kind of identify as a liberal now. They're way more progressive. They've been watching a lot of Vox. They've been watching a lot of Destiny. They've been watching a lot of me. They're getting a lot more on the progressive side, but they still got some like residue of that really edgy kind of Nazi or reactionary type shit going on. How do you think we purify them? How do you think that person gets purified of that residue?
I hadn't really thought about it because I wasn't like, thinking into it too much, but I'm just trying to tell you how you are being perceived and stuff like that. But
Sure, I'm going to tell you how they
um,
get purified. They spend time in progressive spaces where that kind of behavior isn't
progressive spaces,
acceptable.
I
They,
wouldn't
they
say that.
spend time in
They spend a
progressive
lot of
spaces and
time.
social groups. Well, sure, a lot of it's personal self reflection, but a lot of it
Yes.
is spending time in progressive social spaces where there is a certain amount of peer pressure where that kind of behavior is discouraged. I promise you, a lot of my edgy mannerisms
Stan,
that
I
I
understand.
still had.
That makes sense.
Yeah, a lot of my edgy mannerisms that I had after kind of getting out of the whole reactionary thing, even though I was a progressive and I called myself a liberal at the time, a lot of those like really bad residue mannerisms and stuff like that, they simmered away as I spent like countless hours hanging out in the voice chat of Destiny's server, because I was talking to people in there who were really progressive, at least at the time. This was back in 28, like late 2018, early 2019, before the lefty arc. And it just sort of rubbed off. It was like being in a rock tumbler. You ever use a rock tumbler before?
Here's the thing, man.
Well, I'm curious. Have you ever used a rock tumbler before?
I'm not saying that's bad. I'm not saying that's bad, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't be totally not accepting I mean, I think we should be accepting, but it's the people that have been assaulted, harassed, and everything that are now made to be like, you got to just be cool with it or get out. And I have a problem with that. Not saying what you're doing is totally bad. I'm just saying you need to also take a look at these other things while you're doing this, and I'm on your side, man. Like I 99.9% of the stuff you've even said before and everything, I agree with. I just finally got triggered here, man. So I just think the way you're going about it, about telling these leftists that have been, possibly have been hurt really bad by these people, that they either need to go kill themselves or,
I would be willing to bet my
here.
entire YouTube channel at 99.99999 infinite nines percent of the time, outside of maybe a few very specific scenarios, like especially when it comes to that person that's in the like current news cycle right now with this issue, that none of these people have been personally affected by any specific ex-Nazi. They're just lefties on the internet who feel morally pure and want to condemn someone because they've always been progressive. Well, this person wasn't always progressive, so they feel better.
That could be a thing, or they have
It's definitely
seen it
a thing.
themselves,
Purity testing is a massive problem with the online left and the left in
It
general.
can be, but there's purity testing.
It's not.
On the
it
right
can
also.
be. Not to the degree. The problem is that the right is capable in most cases of putting aside the purity testing and their like their like principles if it means they win. No, the right is willing to accept basically anybody. Like, you have to go as far as Milo Yiannopoulos did in order to be completely ostracized by the right. The right will take anything it can get. The right is like a black hole, and they do that because they know that it's what will cause them to win. If they bring in as many people as possible, they want numbers, because they know that's how political ideologies win.
But once they get you in there and they know you're in deep, then they'll parity test your ass. They're like a creepy person trying to get somebody in a van, to get you in there. And they're like that. They'll do anything to get you in. But once you get in, you better believe this shit, or you better get the fuck out.
I mean, there are definitely
you better shed that leftist shit.
Sure. What? At least on the left, there are absolutely people in individual right wing on the right, in individual right wing social spaces that might be a little bit more purity testy. Like, if you haven't been down on the JQ, they'll make fun of you. But typically speaking, if they find out you haven't accepted the JQ, they'll make fun of you, but they'll be happy to bring you in and be like, hey, say, have you heard about the JQ?
When it gets down to being a Nazi, you're talking. Oh,
yeah, this is good content. The JQ thing I brought up as an example of a right-wing talking point that someone may not have fully believed yet, and how the right would be willing to absolutely be like, hey, so you don't believe this thing, huh? Well, come on, join VC. We can talk about it. And hey, did you know that blah 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 Jews blah blah blah? I think of all people, I think Sean had actually posted.
Once they got you in their clutches and they know, they're like, now it's purity time. So there is a purification at a point. So anyway, in Nazis, when you get down to actually being like, I'm a Nazi, like when you can admit you're a Nazi, there's purity testing and stuff. So, and that's on the left. Hey, there's people that act like, not like Nazi, like a soup Nazi, like somebody who's just like, bam, either do it or run. Yeah, I don't think that. I've always been accepting, but I've also had to battle a lot of Nazis, and I've also had to try to get people to, get rid of some of their bad beliefs, and it's tough, and a lot of people don't, and a lot of people say they do, but they aren't really. And That's all I'm saying. It's a lot more complicated than what you're saying. And I think when you're just like accepting of every single person that he just wants to be not a Nazi anymore, like it's okay, is just it's not as smart, I don't think.
It's
I mean, I'm not
ironic that you're
saying
saying
they
I'm
shouldn't be in there, but
It's ironic
yeah.
that you're It's ironic that you're saying that I'm oversimplifying things when I feel like you're doing exactly that to the point of where
I'm
it's
trying to
becoming
simplify it
detrimental.
for you. I'm trying to simplify this for you because
I don't need
you're not
anything
seeing it.
simplified. Trust me, I don't
Yeah,
need
you
anything
do.
simplified.
You do, because it is the thing, man. I know that there's people of color that are like, wow, this guy is just wants these shithead Nazis to be in here and really doesn't care if we're in there. And people do think that. And it's not just you, it's the people on the left, like Vosh. People think that of Vosh and stuff. So I just think you guys should be a little bit more aware of this and, being like, hey, this is a more of a balancing act to try to keep left in and happy, to try to also get the right. I'm not saying you need to like say what these people attacking Nazis are doing is okay. I'm not saying that. I don't think it is.
Not attacking
But
Nazis. I'm fine with attacking Nazis.
ex-Nazis,
I'm
whatever.
talking about
Sorry,
attacking people who've reformed. Well, I'm curious.
ex-Nazi. You're right.
I'm gonna read some. These are the people that I was criticizing. This is what goaded you into coming onto my stream. These are the types of people I was criticizing. These are
Read
the
them all.
these are responses
Don't
to
just read the worst ones.
yeah. These are responses
Okay.
to. It's a collage of screenshots going down the replies to it. This is a collage of screenshots of responses to that girl that posted the "I'm not a Nazi anymore. I'm much better now." The fact that you're able to be groomed into a racist is pathetic. Shut the fuck up. You're still going to. This is another one now. You're still going to be burning in hell, ma'am. Another one. Get run over
Not
by a
good.
steamroller. And you're
Not
going to
good.
hell, you ugly ass roach. A
Not
Nazi
good.
once is a Nazi always and forever. There is no excuse, no justification ever that you can justify this with, no matter what you and others may think. At a bare minimum, you should be fully ostracized from civil society for the rest of your life. No communist justice until revolutionary justice first. Sorry, we aren't looking to rehabilitate Nazis, but to liquidate them. Then the response to that is loading up the liquidator, and it's loading a gun. And then I think we got a perfect meme here that Sean had posted on Twitter that perfectly encapsulates the difference between the online left and the far right. And I want to end it off with this, so I'll go ahead and read off the meme to you. So here's the left. You want to learn more? What do you want? A trophy? Yeah, totally. Thanks for not being total human garbage. Round of applause for you. It's not my job to educate you. I don't exist to serve you. White people like you always ask questions, which is proof of how being white is bad. How about you go Google feminism? If it should be pretty easy to get a grasp of what is expected of you quickly. And then here's a perfect representation of how the right does it. You want to know more? Awesome. What do you want me to educate you on first? Do you want to know about scientific arguments for racism? Let me get my Muslim rape statistics. The SJWs have infiltrated the media and academia, so I'm the only educator you can trust. I will teach you everything. This is the perfect representation of how the right and the left go about bringing people in. The right will bring in anybody. They will attract anybody. They will indoctrinate anybody. But
They
the
don't
left
care.
has this purity testing, and
Right.
you're
They
defending
don't
that.
care.
You're defending that.
I'm not defending it. I'm saying it's a lot more complicated than just telling the people of color just to let it roll off their back and accept these people. That's all I'm
What
saying.
people of color am I telling this to? If you have a
All
personal
the people of color
disagreement
that
with
the Nazis
somebody,
have harassed and assaulted.
that the Nazis, individual people, or Nazis as a whole,
Whatever. How do you know? I mean, that's the thing, is how do you know what these people have done?
I don't know. The advice I would give to a person of color who encounters an ex-Nazi that they've had an interaction with in the past in their community is
bound.
It is up to you what you want to do. I would probably recommend leaving that social space, because the only other option, it seems to you, would be to ban the person who is an ex-Nazi because they used to be a Nazi, but they aren't anymore.
So they're no more welcome, not welcome in the leftist space anymore.
Wait, is the ex-Nazi not welcome in the leftist space? What do you want to happen there?
They are, but you're calling these people that that want to have nothing to do with them or tell them they're pieces of shit, that they should kill themselves. They're dumb. They're worse for the left and stuff like that.
Nothing to do with
these people have been.
I'm looping. You've hit a brick wall. Your entire thought process has hit a brick wall.
What?
You're telling me that I am telling people of color who are uncomfortable with ex-Nazis being in their community that they should just leave. What is the what is the alternative? Does the ex-Nazi just have to leave and get banned? Because they used to be bad, but now they're not anymore?
I'm not saying that I totally have a solution for it. I'm trying to show you how you're perceived.
No, I want to hear an answer to this question.
If
you are able to say that if you want to straw man my argument, if you are able to straw man my argument and claim that if there is a personal disagreement between those two people, yeah, that's what you're doing.
The straw man. You're doing all the straw man shit.
Yes, I am. I'm building. I have a scarecrow right next to me right now. I've been building this straw man the whole time. I want to hear you answer this question. I need to hear it. Okay, I'm rock solid right now. Okay, I'm so close to nothing. I just need you to give me this one little bit. Okay, I need you to answer this question.
Go ahead. What up?
If you believe that my position is that if there is an interaction or a disagreement or a problem between someone who's a person of color and an ex-Nazi who is reformed, and that person of color isn't comfortable with that person because they had an interaction in the past that was bad, you think that I want the person of color to just leave. My actual position is
you want them to leave if they're not comfortable, which is really not an option. You know what I mean? They're like, you either have to be cool with it or just get the fuck out. And that's exactly what you're saying.
It is not be cool with it or get the fuck out. It is you are a fucking free person. You have the opportunity to do anything you want. This could be leaving the social space or just blocking the person or leaving for a little bit and waiting and coming back later when they're not around, because you do not have the right, no matter who you are, to say, oh, I don't like this person, so they don't get to be in the social space anymore, unless you are like a moderator or a manager of that social space and you have the power to ban them.
That's not what people are saying. That's not even.
What is the other option? What is the other option? Tell me what the other option is.
We're not saying that people don't like other people.
What is the other option? What is the other? I know what you said. Nazis and people of color. Nazis who have terrorized other people and are now no longer Nazis, and people of color who don't feel comfortable around them. What is the other option? What is the other option? What is the other option? Please answer my question. Answer my question. Stop saying that they say they're not a Nazi anymore. Answer my question.
Right. What was it?
We're ending the loop. Answer the fucking question, please.
What was the question? I must have not heard it.
The question is, I'm gonna lay it out, okay? I'm gonna lay it out as best as I can with the best linguistic skills I can, okay? I'm not always the best at wording my thoughts, okay?
I think I just didn't.
This is the hypothetical we've been working with the whole time. You keep trying to add on weird caveats, like they just say that they're not a Nazi, but let's take this example. Someone used to be a Nazi. Someone used to be a Nazi or an alt-righter. Okay? They realize these opinions are wrong. They are not a Nazi or an alt-righter now. They're progressive. They join a progressive Discord server. They run into a person of color in that Discord server or in that community broadly. It doesn't have to be Discord. It could be anything, any social space. And that person of color and that ex-Nazi, back when that ex-Nazi was a Nazi, had a bad interaction. That ex-Nazi back then called that person the N-word. Or something, or harassed them, or did some shit like that. But now they're better now. They don't do that. Them. Sure, even assaulted them. Sure, doesn't matter. Anything, anywhere ranging there. And now that person, that ex-Nazi, is not a Nazi anymore. They're all better now. They're great. And now they're both in the same social space. No, hold on. I'm telling you, in this hypothetical. Stop trying to add caveats. Right. In this hypothetical, this ex-Nazi who is fine now is not a danger to anybody. Doesn't have any bad beliefs anymore. They're cool. They join the social space. And that person of color who's had an interaction with them does not feel comfortable with them being there. You believe that what I want is for that person of color to either get over it or leave. What do you think the alternative to that is?
That's what you want. I don't think that's what you want.
You said multiple times that's what you think I want. You said multiple times. Please answer the question. What is the alternative?
Okay. You might not be saying that. You might not be saying that, and you might not be thinking that, but that's how it's perceived to other people.
Clearly, that's what you perceived it as like fucking 5 minutes ago when you said exactly that to my face. Are you trolling?
Maybe I misspoke, but no, I'm not trolling. I'm really trying to help you not look bad.
Everybody in the chat is I promise you. I don't know if you believe that you're doing well in this debate.
Chat. It doesn't matter about those
you
people.
are not looking good.
So it doesn't matter.
You are not looking good, dude. I'm trying
I
to
don't
help you.
care.
I'm trying to end this on like a
Trying to
positive
help me
note,
what?
on an
Trying to help
amicable
me
note.
what?
All you have to do is answer my question. What is the alternative?
Uh,
You cut out. Can you talk again?
I said, hello? Sorry, I'm here. Can you
What
hear me?
is... Yes, I just need you to answer
Okay.
this question. What is the alternative?
You know what? This is what I've said before. I don't exactly know the alternative. What I'm trying to say is this is how you're perceived. There's somewhere in the middle that needs to be done, and I'm not saying I have all the answers, man. I'm not trying to like come on here and I know everything.
Then why are
I'm just
you
trying to say how you're
criticizing my
perceived by
belief on what
people.
should happen in this scenario? Because this is the scenario that you brought up. You are the one who brought up the whole,
I didn't bring up that scenario.
No,
Well,
you're the
yeah,
one
that
who
okay.
kept on bringing up the hypothetical of a person of color who isn't comfortable in a social space with somebody who's an ex-Nazi. You were the one who brought up that hypothetical in the first place.
I know, but I never told you you have to do something different. I'm just saying how you are and what you're doing, it looks bad. I had no,
Who does it look
I don't
bad
know
to?
what people of color
No,
or
it doesn't.
gay,
There are people of color. Most of my audience, like straight white cis males, are a minority in my audience.
okay. That's not all the people in the world, though.
That's not all the people in the world. I can't account for all the people in the world. Those that I'm
Okay,
condemning
I
in my
know, but I know a
videos,
lot more
when I
people that
talk
would be
about
like
this,
the other way. So
yeah, guess what?
I
There are
know
a lot of
more
people that
would
don't
be
like
the
me for plenty of fucking reasons and would find any excuse to say some bad shit about me. Trust me, I'm an internet figure. That's just what fucking happens. The people that I was condemning
trying to help
in my
you.
video and in my clips were those that are saying, like what I read off those screenshots earlier, those tweet responses, people saying that once a Nazi, always a Nazi. There is no redeeming. If you were able to be racist once in your life, that means you are inherently a bad person. There's no going back from that. Is essentially original sin.
Shouldn't you try to be nicer to those people and bring them back to being a normal leftist? Because obviously they're like being shitheads.
I would
Yes.
love
But
to bring
shouldn't
every
you be the bigger
I
person? Shouldn't
I would
Vanderhall be the bigger person and try to be like, hey guys, I'm gonna be nice about this and stuff, and not tell them to go kill themselves, not tell them to never talk to the left again.
People
You know,
sending death
like
threats to that girl are I will absolutely make jokes being like, shove your head in a blender in Minecraft. I'll absolutely make that joke about
but
those
you don't
people.
know
But
okay,
you
man,
didn't
but
make those jokes.
everybody doesn't know
Hey, guess what?
that you're
Here's the perfect
joking.
example. You are the perfect example. You didn't come in, or I haven't seen you on Twitter sending death threats to that girl. So
I
guess
have no
what? I
Twitter.
brought you on.
I've
That's fine.
never had Twitter in my
That's
life.
fine. You had a
I think it's
disagreement.
stupid.
You had a disagreement, and I brought you on to talk about it. I would bring every single one of those people, everybody that agrees with you, everybody who disagrees with accepting
Yeah, but
ex-Nazis into the left. I would bring all of them on to
but you
debate.
were like a fang tooth. You were like going after. I mean, you were going in on those people, and you don't know exactly what those people have been through. Some of those people
I
that
don't
made those
care
shithead
what they've
statements.
been through if I see
You
them
don't
doing
care.
bad
See,
shit.
you don't care.
If
You
I'm
don't
going
care.
to if
The
I'm going
trauma
to
they've gone
condemn
through.
somebody, if I'm going to condemn someone for doing bad shit,
It's
yeah,
a stupid tweet that probably wasn't that smart to tweet like that, you know. And like maybe they were just
I'm
angry, you know. I'm
sorry,
not.
a teenager tweeted something that was poorly worded that they didn't expect was going to go viral and would garner them to gain tens of thousands of people shit talking them and thousands of people sending them death threats and insulting them. I'm sorry, I didn't expect that. I'm sorry that teenager didn't expect that. That teenager who'd been groomed into Nazism by an abusive boyfriend and abusive family.
I'm talking about the leftists that are making really bad decisions by, saying that about the supposed ex-Nazi. I don't think it's good. I'm not saying those
Then
people
why do you
should
have a
be.
problem with me insulting them or trying? Like, I'm gonna be honest here.
Because you shouldn't be telling them to kill themselves. And if you really want to balance their left, you really honestly need to be. If you're gonna cup the right wingers' balls, you got to cup the left wingers' balls. So
When have I
it's
ever
it's if
cupped
you
the
want to
right
be.
wingers' balls? My entire channel covering right wingers,
Uh,
I tear apart content creators so that their audience sees me destroy their fucking demagogues and they move
what
more
about
towards
this?
me.
What about this? I mean, to you, as somebody that claims they're a Nazi, is subhuman garbage. But the second they say, I'm not a Nazi anymore, you're like,
There it is
okay.
again. There it is again, just the saying they're
But
not a
that's how
Nazi
you, that,
anymore.
You've said that before. You said they say they're not a Nazi, they're not a Nazi anymore. You just say that casually, like people can just say that they're okay and just be in these spaces, and it's like
we're back in the
you don't
loop,
know who's
guys.
creeping in you.
We've done another circle.
All right.
It's like a race
I
car
just don't
track.
think.
I literally said
I just
50
don't think
times you can't prove a negative. If
know.
someone says
That's
I'm
my
not a
point.
Nazi and
I
there's
think
no
we're both
evidence
saying
they're a
that.
Nazi, then they're probably not a Nazi. That's how inductive reasoning works. It's not just that they say they're not a Nazi, it's that there is no
Then
evidence whatsoever that they are still a Nazi.
yeah, I don't know, man. When you can claim you're a Nazi and it's pretty bad. When you are just a little edgelord that dipped its toe into the
Holy
rabbit
shit,
hole or
here we go
whatever.
trying to sugarcoat. Why are you trying to
I'm not.
sugarcoat the bad shit that I believe? You are. I
You
was
said that though.
literally
You conflate both of them. You say that they're both just as welcome.
I
And like
literally
we're supposed to believe
fucking
just both of them the same.
I was literally like in Discord servers making jokes about 1350 and posting fucking black crime statistics and shit like
Well,
that. I
but there's
believed horrible
but you
shit.
even say that. Let's not talk about you. Let's just talk about
Why did you
people that
bring
were
up my
mildly.
beliefs? Why you brought up my beliefs and I responded to them
Well,
and now
I
you're
thought you
trying
were
to
a good
pivot
example.
again?
I thought you were a good example of it, but then you told me that it was actually way worse than it because I didn't perceive that from your first video that you were that bad from your ARC video. I didn't perceive that from there that you were actually as bad as you're saying now. So that's my bad, and I don't want to keep making that comparison because you weren't. But what about these kids that are that are like liberal conservatives that kind of do racist shit, don't really understand they're doing racist shit, but it just kind
My
of dumb shit.
content can appeal everywhere from
I'm
edgy
not saying that, but
teenagers who have
yeah,
liberal positions, but they
okay,
like to say edgy
no, but
slurs
that's my
sometimes,
point.
and full on Nazis. My content, I try to broaden the horizon to reach all of these people. You don't
No,
get them
that's
all.
good.
You don't get them
I'm
all,
just
but
saying.
sometimes you get some, and every single person you bring over from the right to the left is a win because not only is that a future voter, that's most likely someone who isn't going to go around harassing like marginalized people online, and perhaps even someone who won't one day go and shoot up a fucking synagogue or a shopping mart or set a fucking mosque on fire or I don't know, one of those things. That every single person that I bring from being anywhere from a Nazi to like an edgy anti-SJW type over to
You're
being a
bringing that.
progressive
That's not what I'm
leftist
saying.
is
I'm
a
saying you're
win.
conflating. I'm saying you're conflating.
I
You're
haven't
like
conflated
when
these.
you say
I literally
you're
I
like if you're an
distinguish
edge. You
between
said this.
everything in
Listen.
this fucking category every time I talk about these kinds of topics,
You're
okay?
not even understanding what I'm saying.
If I'm talking about
You're
someone
not even getting
like
it.
if I'm talking about the fans of someone like Geeks and Gamers or of the Quartering, I talk about them very differently or what they believe very differently than I would from someone who's like a fan of John Doyle. You damn well know it if you've watched any of my content, which you claim to have.
Okay, yes, and that's not my point. My point is that you are saying that there's a spectrum of right wingers, right? There's barely right. There's liberal conservative. There's edge lords. Blah blah blah. You're saying that the you know the lightest of the light is just as welcome, which is fine, as a hardcore Nazi, and we're just supposed to believe them the same, and we're supposed to just be like, oh, you're totally fine, because you're like, oh, right wingers or Nazis, like you're like saying them in a sentence like they were pretty much the same thing, and I'm like, I think he's conflating and getting these wildly different type of people mixed up, and that's where I was like, are you not like understanding what you're saying? Maybe I don't know. I mean, you'd have to go back in the video and I could show you like where you were like, I don't know. I don't think you think it, but it just comes off this way. It seems like that. So I don't know. Hello?
You're unbelievably frustrating.
We're having a debate here, man. Remember, I am on your side. I'm just trying to have you
I
see a
don't
different
think
view
you
here.
are. I
I
actually don't
totally
think you
am.
are.
I'm not like with you with this, but if you talk about comrade and like with you, I'm with you. I'm just saying you are not seeing how bad you look,
I
and
don't
that's what
look
I'm trying.
bad.
I'm
I
trying to actually
promise
help
you
you
I
out,
don't look
bro.
bad. I promise you I don't look
I
bad.
know you
The
think
people who I
think
look
you
bad
don't.
to, the
You,
people who I look bad to are people who probably have always disliked me and who would probably
you
never be
think
open to
this?
anything that I
Nope,
say.
nope, 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 nope. That's bullshit, and you're Like, no.
In fact, the people
Nope.
that I look bad to are
It's not
probably
just you.
people that,
And it's not just
honestly,
you. I'm not
the
trying to pick on you.
the
I'm not trying to.
people that I look bad to, if I'm being completely honest, from a purely
Bosch is really bad
utilitarian
at it.
and no, if I the people that I look bad to from purely utilitarian or consequential perspective are people who I probably don't care about reaching anyway because they're probably already left leaning, and my goal is to reach people who aren't
Ooh,
already left leaning to bring them to the left. My
I
channel
don't
is
think
not
so,
a
man.
circle
I don't
jerk
think so,
to
man.
preach to the choir to people who already agree with me. I'm not interested in that. I'm not trying to look for a little
Well,
lefty
I'm
safe
not saying
space where
that.
everyone
I'm not
agrees.
saying that.
I'm trying
I'm
to
not
reach
saying you
people
need
who
to
don't
preach to them.
already agree
You
with
just
my
need to have. You just need
opinions.
to make them feel welcome. You need to make them feel welcome, not preach to them and not be like blah
It's
blah
my
blah.
fucking channel. They don't feel welcome here because
Sure,
they don't like me, then that's
sure.
fine.
But then people go and they say this about Vosh too. Like I've actually one of my buddies is like, dude,
Yeah, there's a lot of
that
leftists
guy
that are
doesn't.
allergic to
That
pragmatism. There are a
that's
lot
what
of
they say.
leftists that are
That's what they
allergic
say
to
about
winning.
leftists. All
There
about
are
it's
lots of
all
leftists who are just allergic to winning. I understand.
no, no. That's a bullshit fucking thing. That's just
Yeah.
trash.
Yeah.
That's trash. I mean, maybe that could happen, and maybe that's like the Democrats in power, but real leftists want to win, So that's
Yeah, maybe they
bullshit,
should start acting
Anyway,
like it. If they start acting like it,
yeah,
I'd
but
really like
we're
that.
not going to, the right how they coax people in and stuff like that is pretty sick, and they're just they're gross. It's like
Yeah, because they lie, but
um
the left, generally
right.
speaking, doesn't tend to lie
Lie
about our
and it
opinions.
doesn't lie and doesn't aren't two-faced. That's one of the things about the left too is it's rare. I mean, it can be true totally, but
There
the
is
right is
lying on the left. Don't
so
get me wrong,
two-faced.
there is, but the right is, the basically has a monopoly for the most part on spreading lies and misinformation about politics.
Right, they're like the creepy guy trying to get you in the van, man. That's what the right is, and
Yeah,
that
they are,
and that's how I feel like how they
and I
get.
want to be the fucking the sports
But
center, the YMCA around the corner that can be a refuge for kids not to get fucking kidnapped and diddled by the creepy guy in the van.
that's good. Hey man, I'm not saying you shouldn't let these people into your space. I'm just saying it's more complicated than just telling the other people they got to either deal with it or bounce. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you shouldn't be doing this. I'm just saying how you're perceived by other people of color, some people of color, and you know how you're just kind of purging a leftist to get a right. So
I have no power to purge
it's like,
leftists. I have no power over the broader lefty
well,
community. I have power
I mean, if
over,
you say
like,
not just you, but if it's a thing on the left when people are doing what you do, like say if it was a big thing, it would be like, a lot more leftists wouldn't feel as welcome in those spaces because it was kind of getting overrun with these so-called ex-Nazis, So I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that you need to like think about this a little bit harder, like, and I don't know
I've
the
thought
answer
about it
to it,
very
man. I'm
hard.
not trying to like,
I would give you that exact same
I don't
advice.
think so. I don't think so, man. I don't think you're really thinking about other people's feelings and through, So
Well, I'll tell you one thing. This is my job, so I put a lot of thought into it. Okay, even when I'm not
I know, but
streaming
not
and I'm
right
not
here.
doing
Not right
work.
here. You're a smart kid. You're really good. I think you're good for the left, and I'm not trying to like I'm trying to help you more than hurt you. So don't think I'm trying to hurt you. So
I just
anyway,
wish you would have been a bit more. It feels like you were being extremely dishonest in
I'm
this
not
debate.
though. I'm just trying to have you see where you're screwed up, and like you are, and it's bad. It's like it's I don't know, man. I guess I can't. Maybe I'll like try to make a reaction video and get to the points on your little video and go over them or something like that where I'm like, see this, but I don't know. I guess you're just not understanding what I'm trying to tell you.
I know the
Maybe that's my
exact.
fault.
I know the exact. I know
I
how you
don't think
feel. I know how you
oh.
feel.
So,
All
but
right.
anyway, man, I do got to get going, but maybe we'll talk about this again. Maybe I can instead of just being triggered and being like, I gotta call this guy, maybe I can think about some more things and, call you back and be like, this, and this, maybe you will see that, maybe you need to switch your strategy just a hair, and I don't know what the switch is, but I'm not trying to tell you need to do something. I'm just saying that like, if you could, I guess, think what I think, you would be going, oh, I'm going to do this, you know, I'm going to approach these leftists that are being assholes a little bit different, you know, and I don't know. Anyway,
Okay. Have a
guess
good one,
that's
alright?
it, buddy. All right, bud. Have a good one.
See ya.